Naruto, starting the live broadcast to the ninja world. Hey, fanfic family. So glad to see you here again to continue this incredible adventure. As always, kindly remember, this story is 100% fiction, so don't go looking for dimensional portals in your closet. All rights to this fantastic novel belong to the original author. We're just your humble narrators of epic tales. Are you enjoying the fanfic? Show it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and dropping us a like. And if you want to support us and get exclusive content, Ko-Fi is your happy place. Isn't chapter 226 just Kakashi's bare face? Sasuke was stunned, handed the skewer to him and made way. Qiu squatted in front of the iron lock. After a while, he heard a click and the lock was open. Fire Nation Muai Village. Is this Qiu from the village? Why have I never seen him? I have no impression of this person at all. Is he planning to steal the village's intelligence and then defect? Team 7 is being used by this guy. It is even possible that he is a spy from another ninja village. Since you are a ninja of the village, why are you accompanying Team 7 in their mischief? The child is ignorant. Isn't he also ignorant? Damn it. Qiu must have a purpose. On screen Naruto exclaimed, "It's open, so cool." Sasuke asked, "Qiu, which unit were you in before?" Qiu said, "Intelligence Gathering Team, directly under the Hokage." Sakura was puzzled. What is that? Sasuke thought, and Qiu continued, "Something happened, and now I am retiring. Is it appropriate for you to do such a thing? Be careful of being targeted by other Anbu." Qiu slowly opened the door. "No. It's okay. It's okay. Go in." After they walked in, looking at the densely packed files and documents in the room, Xiaoying asked, "Do you want to look for it in here?" Sasuke urged, "Hurry up." Several people began to search box by box. After an unknown amount of time, Qiu lowered his voice and said, "Found it." The three people from Class 7 ran over quickly. "I'm about to open it." As he spoke, Qiu opened the file in his hand. "See this scene, ninja world, it's coming. It's coming." Kakashi's true face, Divine Space Obito himself, didn't notice that his attention was completely on the screen at the moment. Pure Land Kushina and Rin stared at the screen without blinking. On screen, "This moment has finally arrived." The three members of Class 7 watched intently as the files in the file bag were slowly pulled out. The four big words "ninja file" are clearly visible on the file, and below is a photo of the ninja himself. Qiu had already extracted the file down to Kakashi's hair. Next is the Forward Protector. The three members of Class 7 held their breath. A drop of sweat slid down Naruto's face when the part that hit Kakashi's eyes was drawn. A voice sounded behind him, "Don't move." Naruto was shocked at this moment. Four Anbu wearing animal masks stood behind them. "You will be arrested. Any reckless action will be considered as resistance. Those with serious circumstances will be dealt with on the spot." Naruto's body was a little stiff, and he whispered, "I want to sneeze." "Stupid, hold it in." Naruto closed his eyes, his nose twitching. Sasuke looked at Kakashi's dead eyes on the file and said unwillingly, "Damn, it was almost there. Ninja world, what a pity. It was so close. Damn Konoha Anbu." Divine Space Obito came back to his senses and said, "There's nothing to be curious about. Isn't it just Kakashi without makeup?" Pure Land Kushina's face fell and looked disappointed. "Pity." On screen next scene, Sarutobi Hiruzen had an angry character on his head and was saying something loudly to Kakashi and Naruto. Kakashi pressed Naruto's head and apologized to him. Screen turn. Kakashi looked at Qiu and Team 7 and said, "What kind of messed up infiltration mission is this?" Qiu looked innocent. "Sorry, I tried to stop them, but they are going anyway." Naruto loudly condemned, "Too cunning. You have already planned to put all the responsibility on us if you fail," Qiu said, "because they said they wanted to see Kakashi's bare face." Kage looked at him and said, "If I remember correctly, you used to be a member of the Anbu, right?" "Really? Ninja world, how disloyal." Naruto is right. Qiu is so cunning. I thought Qiu was a spy lurking in Konoha village. Since he was released, it means that Qiu is very valuable to Konoha. So valuable that the third Hokage didn't care that he took Team 7 to peek at the top secret files. The third Hokage is really tolerant of Naruto. He can handle things like this with ease. If it happened in other ninja villages. Tisk, Kakashi, be more generous and just pull down the masks to show it to your students. I'm really curious. Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but laugh. This guy Kakashi is really good at acting on screen. Is my appearance that important? Qiu scratched the back of his head in embarrassment after hearing what Kakashi said. Screen turned. The three members of Team 7 looked at Qiu. Naruto looked unhappy. "How dare you shirk responsibility?" Sasuke looked as if he understood. I knew something was wrong. As a former Enbu, and with such a powerful lock-picking skill, he could have done it alone. Sakura also said, no matter how handsome he is, I still hate people who are irresponsible. Sky looked apologetic. Sorry. As compensation, I am willing to help you take a picture of Kakashi-sensei's appearance. This time I will rely on my photography skills. Naruto asked, why, you haven't given up yet? Sky asked back, what, are you giving up now? Naruto was stunned, then asked, what are you going to do? Sky said, take a picture of him, then, he suggested, invite Kakashi-sensei to dinner, and then take a picture of him eating. Pure Land Minato smiled helplessly, Kakashi, you went through so much trouble just to cheat your students out of a meal, didn't you? Kakashi's change may be attributed to Team 7, he was relieved to see Kakashi had come out of the pain and darkness. There was a hint of confusion in Lin's eyes. Strange, why does Sky look more and more familiar to me? I don't even know him. Sky looks about the same age as Kakashi. He should be a student of the same ninja school, but the strange thing is that as a classmate of hers, she has no impression of this Sky at all. Neither his name nor his hairstyle. Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building. Shikaku smiled and said, that's a good idea. Sarutobi Hirozen gave him a strange look. Shikaku noticed something, looked at him and asked, what's wrong, Sandame? Sarutobi Hirozen said calmly, it's okay, I just think this is indeed a good idea. Shikaku didn't know if he had seen it wrong. Why did he feel that when Sky on the screen just now suggested that Team 7 treat Kakashi to a meal, the look in the third Hokage's eyes was as if he had seen a shameless person? On screen Zioin said helplessly, I have tried this trick many times, but it didn't work. Sasuke also said, every time I was about to see Kakashi's bare face, something inexplicably appeared to hinder me. Sky took out his camera, if I use this continuous shooting camera I made, I can at least take one picture, right? Screen turn in front of the dumpling shop. Teacher, I have something I sincerely want to discuss with you. What's up? Chapter 227, Zio-Okiang and number 039, S Cooperation. Naruto picked up the plate with a dango and handed it to Kakashi. Don't worry, talk while eating dumplings. Kakashi picked up a bunch of dumplings, then I won't be polite. In the distance, in the grass, Kakashi was seen placing his hands on his mask, preparing to pull it down to eat the dango. Sky held up the camera. Sakura and Sasuke were concentrating just then. Yor came over. Hey, Naruto. You guys are out for a stroll too? The three members of Team 7 looked at Kiba at the same time. Naruto quickly stood up and said to him, don't interrupt, there is something important going on. What's the important matter? At this time, a camera ran over to catch the pigeons, and the pigeons were scared and flew away after eating the dumplings. Kakashi put on his mask again and said vaguely, I was just about to ask. Naruto looked at him and asked in surprise, have you finished eating? Naruto suddenly raised the corners of his mouth, but this time we have photos, so we can't escape. Thinking of this, Naruto covered his mouth and laughed. Screen turned. Sky and several people from Class 7 were flipping through the photos taken by the camera. In the photo, the lower half of Kakashi's face was blocked by the pigeon, by a Kamaru, by the pigeon's wings, and even by leaves further down. There's a photo of Kakashi putting on his mask again. Sakura, unbelievable. Naruto, how is that possible? Not even one. Sasuke, this is simply a miracle. Ninja World, isn't this a miracle? Every time when your appearance is about to be exposed, it will be interrupted by a sudden accident. Is what Naruto said true? This is unscientific. Could this be intentional? Kakashi, even Sasuke can't be so cool when faced with Kakashi's true appearance. On screen, Sky said helplessly, there's nothing we can do about this. The mission is over, let's disband. Seeing that no one spoke, Sky waved his hand and said, then I'll leave first. At this time, hey, Naruto, a few people turned around and saw 6 people from Class 8 and Class 10 walking over. You asked, what are you doing, Teeth? And everyone else, Ninja World will help Team 7 to remove Kakashi's mask. They are all from the ninja clan. Even a Jonin would find it difficult to face them. The Jonin might find it difficult, but the famous Sharingan Kakashi might not. But if we take them by surprise and plan without any intention, we might be able to succeed. And Naruto's future wife? By the way, when did they start dating? Naruto's future wife is kind of cute. On screen, Hinata ran up to Kakashi, who was watching Zio-Ube, panting. Teacher Kakashi. Kakashi said, oh. Hinata took a breath and continued anxiously, you came just in time. Over there, what's wrong? Stay calm and talk slowly. Hinata pointed in a direction. There's a woman drowning by the river. Kakashi was shocked. What did you say? Screen turned. The two men ran quickly to an unconscious woman. Kakashi squatted down and felt the pulse of the unconscious woman. Not good, weak heartbeat. The fainted woman heard Naruto's voice in her mind. Sakura is really amazing. Even Kakashi didn't notice that I used Sakura's medicine. Kakashi looked at the woman and murmured, in that case. He put his hand on the mask as if he was going to give artificial respiration. The woman's inner thoughts, hey, I definitely have to take off my mask now. Hinata clenched her fists, her face flushed, and watched the scene with great nervousness. Her heart was full of confusion. Ninja World, I thought Naruto's wife was cute, but now she looks even cuter. Naruto, you're sacrificing so much just to see Kakashi's face. Naruto, do you want to kiss all the men in Team 7? Even though there are only 2 of them. On screen, Kakashi took his hand off the mask, picked up the woman, and said seriously, if this continues, she is in danger. Every second counts, we must send her to the hospital as soon as possible. After saying that, his figure flashed and disappeared in front of Hinata. After Kakashi left, Hinata said to the communicator, Plan A failed. Shikamaru's voice came from the other end of the communicator. Understood. Everyone, implement Plan B. Mr. Skya, please move as soon as possible. Skya said, understood. Ninja World, now that 3 ninja teams are working together, 9 extraordinary children, plus an adult who was a former Enbu, can't they deal with Kakashi? I have my eyes set on Kakashi's face today. The members of the Nara clan are all very intelligent. I wonder what reliable plans the future Hokage assistant has made. On screen, Kiba said, very good, coming this way. Shikamaru guessed right, he plans to go to the hospital via this way. Everyone take your positions. As Kakashi was running with a woman in his arms, Chaji suddenly appeared and blocked his way. Kakashi stopped. Shikamaru makes a seal multiplication technique, human bomb tank. Looking at the ball rolling towards him, Kakashi jumped into the air. He shouted to Tongzi below, what do you want to do? Send her to the hospital as soon as possible. The moment his figure landed on the ground, dense swarms of insects swarmed under his feet. Shino came up to him. Secret technique, insect jade. The bugs wrapped around Kakashi and the woman's bodies, controlling Kakashi's movements. Take advantage of now. Ino came in front of Kakashi. 3, 2, 1. Seize the opportunity. The bugs on Kakashi's body disappeared. Ino points her palm at Kakashi. Heart turn technique. Just as she cast the spell, a frog jumped past her. After controlling a frog, Ino faints. After the frog landed, it started to wave its claws and teeth. Kakashi stood up and said to the others, hey, you guys. I know you want to see my face, but you should also look at the situation. We need to send this person to the hospital as soon as possible. Having said this, Kakashi paused. Shikamaru behind him laughed and said, shadow imitation technique, success. The woman in Kakashi's arms suddenly opened her eyes, grinned, and moved away from Kakashi. With a bang, Naruto's transformation technique was lifted. Naruto shouted to a rooftop, the opportunity has come. Brother Skya. Skya jumped in front of Kakashi. Finally succeeded, Naruto. Now you can have both ramen and dumplings. Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage building. Shikaku smiled, the little guys are working together well. Can we finally see Kakashi's face this time? Sarutobi Hiruzen still maintained that mysterious smile. Shikaku glanced at him and couldn't help but be stunned. Then, he became thoughtful. On screen, Naruto laughed and said, everyone, the operation was successful. Shino said, you should thank us, because, unfortunately, Naruto's attention was all on Kakashi. Alright. Kakashi-sensei, wake up, Ino said excitedly. Get started, Shikamaru. Chapter 228. This time it's definitely stable. It's time to show up, Kakashi said anxiously. Wait a minute. Everyone. Can we talk about this first? Then he felt his hand uncontrollably reaching for the mask. Hey. Stop it. Stop it. Calm down. Isn't it more romantic to keep things mysterious? After saying that, he even laughed dryly a few times. Chaji drooled and said, I think Ichiriko ramen and dumplings are more romantic. Kakashi pinched his mask. Have you been bribed? Shikamaru made a motion to pull his hand away. Checkmate. Kakashi was controlled to pull his mask out a little, then start pulling it down slowly. Hey. Stop it. No, please stop. Ninja World. I don't want any romance. I just want to see your true face. Kakashi, amazing. Is this the talent cultivated by a big family? It's stable. It's definitely stable this time. I don't believe in any metaphysical stuff. This time I will definitely see Kakashi's face. Divine Space Abito held his breath unconsciously. Pure Land Lin widened her eyes in anticipation, waiting for that scene to happen on screen. Just then, something unexpected happened. Niji was chased by Rock Lee and came to the group. Don't bother me, Lee, please fight me. Ningxi, Naruto was startled and shouted to the two, don't get in the way. Xianshan also ran over. Really, can you two stop making trouble? Swish, swish, swish. Niji dodged Rock Lee's pursuit and left a circle of smoke and dust around Kakashi and Shikamaru. The speed was getting faster and faster, until Niji turned and disappeared from everyone's sight, and Xiao Li hurriedly chased after him. Ten rushed behind Shikamaru, put his hands on Shikamaru's shoulders, and jumped over Shikamaru and Kakashi in a leaping goat posture. After running a few steps, Tenten turned around and said to Kakashi and Shikamaru, who were losing their balance, sorry. Shikamaru and Kakashi waved their hands around for a while, and finally fell to the ground together, and the shadow connecting to Kakashi was completely severed. Kakashi's figure disappeared in a cloud of smoke with a bang. After seeing this scene, many people in the ninja world looked disappointed. Ninja world shadow clone? This Kakashi is actually a shadow clone. How could I believe it? I really believe it. What Naruto said is true. Even if it's not a shadow clone, they have failed. From today on, I will believe in metaphysics. This is too much of a coincidence. Is Kakashi's mask blessed by a god? I wonder if it's too late to believe in the gods now. Why is it so hard to get a glimpse of Kakashi's face? Kakashi is so cunning. Tisk. Your teacher is still your teacher. On screen shadow clone. Naruto tilted his head and a big question mark appeared above his head. What's up? Sakura said. Teacher Kakashi knew everything from the beginning. Screen turned. Skaya said to the others. It's a pity that it didn't work, but thank you all the same. Naruto raised his head and looked at him with his big, adorable eyes. No, thanks to brother Skaya, we also had a lot of fun. Thank you, then I should go now. If I need anything in the future, I will have to ask you for help. The cockroaches waved at him. Naruto shouted, come on and grab the exclusive. Skaya stopped, turned around and waved at them. It's really fun. At far away Kakashi showed half of his face and looked at the group of cockroaches. Then, three little heads appeared one after another. It was Rock Lee, Ningxi, and Tenten. After seeing this scene, everyone in the ninja world suddenly realized Ninja World Kakashi is so despicable. He actually colluded in advance to play tricks on his own students, so, it's not that mysterious at all, right? Kakashi knew it a long time ago and was deliberately putting on an act for them to see. Poor Naruto and Sasuke, they were fooled by their own teacher so seriously. Then a new question arises. How did Kakashi know their plan in advance? Did someone secretly inform him? On screen Ningxi, it was indeed a coincidence that Kiba went to the dumpling shop. Xiao Li, I didn't expect everyone to be together. Xianshan, but, it's nice to do this once in a while. Kakashi said helplessly, it's just too tiring. After all, I have to use so many shadow clones and transformations. Everyone's teamwork almost ruined my mask. Ningxi said, I think it's okay for them to take off their masks. Kakashi suddenly pulled down his mask, only to see another mask underneath. He's wearing a spare mask inside. Ha 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 ha. On the street Naruto held the back of his head with his hands and said, we have to find our way with food. This has the highest success rate. But how to invite Kakashi-sensei to dinner is also a problem. The other side Skaya couldn't help but be surprised when he saw Kai walking towards him. The moment the two passed each other, Skaya breathed a sigh of relief. Hello. Skaya turned around and looked at Kai, who walked up to him. Kai asked, excuse me, was there anyone causing trouble nearby just now? Huh? No. No one is causing trouble. Kai stared at his face. Skaya kept blinking his eyes, his gaze wandering. Kai slowly said, Kakashi. I just heard that they were fighting and making a scene on the street. Really? Sorry to bother you. Where after saying that, Skaya turned around and prepared to leave. Ninja World, I thought Emperor Kai was talking about Skaya. Why does Skaya look so guilty in front of Emperor Kai? Could it be that Skaya did something to offend Emperor Kai? On screen before Skaya had taken a few steps, he heard Kai calling him again. He turned around and looked at Kai, who had put his face in front of him, and his pupils shrank. Excuse me, what can I do for you? Kai blinked twice. Have I seen you somewhere before? No, there shouldn't be any. Really? I'm so sorry. Goodbye, Kai muttered as he walked. Where have I seen this before? Skaya looked at his back and sighed. Hearing Kai's words, Lin, who was in the Pure Land, was stunned. Does Kai also find this Skaya familiar? Not Lin covered her little mouth as if she had discovered some big secret in the divine space. Obito's eyes narrowed. It's hard to imagine that a fool who only knows physical skills can burst out with such powerful strength. On screen turned. Skye stood in front of the mirror with his upper body naked. He took off his cosmetic contact lenses and then adjusted his voice. Then, she took off her wig, revealing her silver hair. Everyone in the ninja world looked at this scene in a daze. They stared blankly at Skye on the screen, wiping off her eyeshadow with a wet wipe. Changing your voice puts a lot of strain on your throat. After a while, he went to the bathroom and turned on the shower. Looking through the frosted glass door outside, you can clearly see a figure taking a bath. Ninja world. 1 moment, 2 moments, Skye is Kakashi himself. He not only played Team 7 around, but also me, this guy. It turns out that he is the undercover agent. He put on makeup and infiltrated the enemy. How insidious. This Kakashi guy is even more handsome than I thought. No, handsome guy, you are sick. Why do you close the door when you are taking a shower when you are home alone? Chapter 229, The Dark Life of Ninja World. Oops. My nose is bleeding, my curiosity has been satisfied and I feel relieved. Damn it. Why isn't it a cherry mouth? I wonder if his butt is as white as Sasuke's. Pure Land. Lin covered her eyes in the divine space. Obito choked on his own saliva. Cough, 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 cough. A long cough. Actually, it's just an ordinary cough. Cough, cough. Moreover, he actually saw Kakashi taking a bath. Fire Nation Muai Village. Dark. Kakashi's face turned red and he couldn't help but bend his toes. It's fine if you exposed my face, but why did you let me take a shower too? Can live streaming give people some privacy? On screen title. Ichiriko Ramen record holder. In a show Kakashi holds the microphone. The following contestants will appear in the Big Eater contest. Sitting on the seats were Kiba, Yamato, Naruto, Shino, Hinata, and Sai. This time I am challenging Ichiriko's miso barbecued pork, and the time limit is 30 minutes. Then, let's begin. Kakashi watched Naruto slurp the Ichiriko ramen into his mouth and said, Naruto was very motivated from the beginning. Kakashi continued. Kage followed closely behind, and the other players kept their own pace. Ninja World. Seeing Hinata still blowing air into the soup spoon, someone said, girls are more elegant when eating. These boys are too rude when eating. Normally speaking, it's hard for girls to beat boys in this kind of competition. On screen 10 minutes have passed. Shino lay on the table, motionless. 20 minutes have passed. Yazu's face turned blue and he fell backward. Finally, there is only 1 minute left. Sai was carried out on a stretcher. Naruto put down the ramen bowl in his hand and said confidently, after eating so much, I will definitely win. At this time I've finished eating. Naruto was shocked. Kakashi's voice came at the right time. Wow. Yamato finished 31 bowls. So easy. The time is up now, Naruto said unwillingly. Damn it. I lost. What a pity, Kakashi announced. Our champion has been chosen. It's Hyuga. Naruto and Yamato were shocked. Huh? Hinata sat there like a lady, and said softly, thank you for the hospitality, Ninja World. Huh? Is this true? The champion is actually Naruto's wife. I just realized that this Yamato actually ate 31 bowls. Naruto was only slightly behind. They're all good eaters. How many bowls did Hinata eat? Those piled up bowls may seem like a lot, but Yamato and Naruto's were also a lot. Memories? Only on the screen. Ichiriko Ramen Shop. Naruto asked the clerk. I said, she can eat more than the two of them. What kind of person is that legendary queen? The clerk looked at the 7th generation holding his little frog wallet and asked in confusion. Huh? Did you tell your son? Naruto laughed awkwardly. What? Boruto. As he spoke, he pointed to a ranking list in the store. The first place is Hinata, and the second is Choji and Hinata's record, 46 bowls. Mom, Boruto looked incredulous. Seeing this number, everyone in the ninja world dropped their jaws. Isn't that too exaggerated? With this appetite, even Madara would have to call her the best, right? Outrageous. This is totally unscientific. How can a person's stomach hold so much food, with such a big appetite? Can Naruto afford to feed her? It takes dozens of seconds to make a bowl. I'm afraid it's not poured directly into the stomach. Pure Land. Hashirama's eyes nearly popped out of his head. You ate 46 bowls of noodles, but when he saw the new title appearing on the screen, he retracted his eyes again. Even Hashirama couldn't help but frown when he saw the name in the title. Anyone could see that he didn't like this person very much. Ninja World. The darkness of the ninja world. The life of Shimura Danzo. Is this evil guy worthy of having someone from another world make a video of the most important experience of his life just for him? Pure Land Tobirama looked at the screen with a sullen face. Danzo, let me see how many asshole things you have done in your life. If you were still alive now, he would probably clean up the mess first. On-screen subtitles. 6 years old, became Tobirama's apprentice together with Sarutobi Hirozen. 2 children appeared on the Hokage rock. Next, there is a scene of 2 children playing together. Next scene. Subtitles. 25 years old, the First Ninja World War. Konoha and Kumagakure failed in the peace talks, and were pursued by the elite forces of Kinkaku and Jinkaku. Tobirama said to his disciples, "We are surrounded, there are 20 enemies." Uchiha Jing said, "In this situation, we need someone to act as bait." Danzo closed his eyes. "Say it. Say it." At this moment, Sarutobi Hirozen said, "I will do it." Danzo was startled, gritted his teeth, and said unwillingly, "Damn it. I am such a coward." Ninja World. The darkness of the ninja world actually has such a side. What made him so evil later? Ambition. On screen. Next scene. Subtitles. 50 years old, the Third Ninja World War. After seeing the power of the Samsara Danzo wanted to use this power for himself and sow discord between the Akatsuki organization and Hanzo. He killed the Akatsuki leader Yahiko, causing Nagato to turn evil. Screen turn. Danzo said to Hanzo, "Hanzo-sama, if this continues, the village will be taken away by them." Screen turn. Yahiko rushed towards the kunai in Nagato's hand with the chi sound konan, who was controlled by Hanzo, shouted, "Yahiko!" Nagato's Rinnegan suddenly widened. Screen turn. The gigantic outer path demon statue roared at the Rain Country ninjas and the Root ninjas. Ninja World. A vein popped out on Jiraiya's forehead. No matter how carefree he was, he became angry when he saw this scene. Fire Nation Muai Village. Is this the leader of Akatsuki? And that blue-haired girl, is she Konan? Besides Sasuke, I once again saw the Rinnegan in a young boy's eyes, and a pair of them. The Akatsuki organization became an evil organization because Shimura Danzo coveted the pair of Samsara eyes. The sins of Shimura Danzo can never be washed away. He brought an enemy with a Rinnegan to the village. Shimura Danzo, unforgivable. On screen. Next scene. Subtitles. 50 years old, let Kabuto be a spy for Konoha. Replace Kabuto's photo with another person and send it to Dean Nono. Then issue tasks to both parties and let the two kill each other. This led to Kabuto betraying Konoha and completely turning evil. Danzo said gloomily, "For Konoha, this price is not worth mentioning." Screen turn. The voice of Orochi Kabuto was heard. "I have nothing. I don't know who my parents are. I don't even know my own name." In memory, young Kabuto stared blankly at Nono's gentle face. After a moment, his weak shoulders trembled slightly, and he cried, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Nanoi comforted him softly, "It's okay. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels." Chapter 230. A happy ending. Screen turn. Kabuto was fighting with someone when the man attacked from above. Kabuto flipped his body and used the chakra wrapped around his hands to cut the man's abdomen. The man's glasses flew out and shattered in midair with a thump. He fell to the ground. The dark clouds in the sky dispersed, and Kabuto raised his head to look at the man. The next moment, he was shocked. "Dean, how could this happen? Why are you here?" He used medical ninjutsu and tried his best to save Nono. "Why? To heal my wounds? What on earth are you?" "It's me, Dean." Seeing that Nono still didn't recognize him, he quickly took off his glasses and put them on Nono. "I am Dao. Don't worry, I will definitely cure you, but who knows, who are you?" There was a loud bang in Kabuto's mind. He was stunned, and the movements of his hands also stopped. And of memories from the beginning, I had nothing. Ninja World. I have an impression of this person. He was an enemy of Itachi and Sasuke, but it seems he was defeated by them. This is also a person with a story. I think I understand. Kabuto is the child adopted by the Dean since he was a child. Danzo knew that the Dean was an excellent undercover agent, so he forced the Dean to be an undercover agent for Konoha. However, he needed someone to restrain the Dean. After all, an undercover agent knows too much information, and leaking it would cause huge losses to Konoha. So Danzo controlled this child named Kabuto, trained him to be an undercover agent, and then made them kill each other. The Dean has not been in Konoha for many years, so he doesn't know what Kabuto looks like. The photos that Danzo sent to the Dean were all fake, so the Dean didn't recognize the child. How many evil things has this old man Shimura Danzo done? Orochimaru's test base. There was hatred in Dao's eyes. Danzo had no intention of keeping me and the Dean from the beginning. Danzo, you deserve to die. Pure Land Nono's eyes were full of self-blame. It's all my fault, I didn't recognize you. Kabuto, on screen. Next scene. Subtitles, 65 years old. When the Uchiha clan was about to launch a coup, Shisu negotiated with a third Hokage to use Kido Matsukami to save the Uchiha clan. Because Danzo attacked Shiso and seized Shisu's main Gekyo, the Uchiha clan failed to resolve the coup peacefully. Danzo disdained the third Hokage's peaceful solution and immediately ordered Itachi to annihilate the Uchiha clan, resulting in the annihilation of the entire Uchiha clan. Danzo's voice came, if Uchiha Fugaku really planned a coup. Shisu knelt on one knee and said, then I will use Kido Matsukami. Danzo asked, is this your pupil technique? Screen turn. What if you use Kido Matsukami on me one day? So I accept your Sharingan. In the scene, after Danzo fell into Shisu's illusion, he used Izanagi to sneak attack Shisu and took away one of Shisu's eyes. Next scene. Subtitles, 73 years old. Pine attacks Konoha. Danzo orders the root to hide and not to attack. Tsunade's chakra is exhausted and she falls into coma during the battle when Pine invades Konoha. Danzo decides to become the 6th Hokage and attend the 5 Kage talks without the vote of the daimyo and Jonin. Danzo uses Kido Matsukami to control Mifune and gain control of the allied ninja forces. In the scene, the root ninja asked, Master Danzo, do we need to go out for support? Even if Master Danzo takes power, it will be meaningless if all the people in Konoha die. Danzo said, this possibility has been ruled out. Since Tsunade has used the slug jutsu, not all the people in Konoha will die. Although there will be some sacrifices, for me, these are necessary sacrifices. In order for me to become Hokage, screen turn. Danzo put on the Hokage hat. My time has finally come. Fire Nation Gaming Mansion. How dare you decide on your own to become the 6th team? This bastard is truly lawless. Moai Village. The villagers looked angry. Go to hell, old dog, your time is almost over. Sasuke will soon appear. Wait for death. What a villain. Lady Tsunade is using her life to protect the village. But Danzo can only hide in the dark and do small things. For the position of Hokage, Konoha has sacrificed countless villagers and ninjas. It's really wrong for the 3rd generation to leave such a person in the village. Master Jiraiya is really good at judging people. Before he went to investigate the Akatsuki organization, he told Master Tsunade to be careful of Danzo. Minaga Shrine. Fugaku closed his eyes to hide the anger in them. No matter what, Danzo Shimura must die. On screen. Subtitles, fighting Uchiha. Sasuke died after sealing half of the bridge. Screen turn. Looking at Sasuke in front of him, Danzo untied the bandages on his hands and said, I accept your Sharingan. Then he showed his arm. The picture gradually sped up, and the Sharingan on Danzo's arms closed one after another. In the end, Sasuke used an illusion on Danzo, making Danzo mistakenly believe that he still had one Sharingan to use, severely injuring Danzo. Screen turn. Hiruzen, it looks like it's my turn this time, for this ninja world. For Konoha, I will never let you live. As he said this, Danzo activated the inner 4 symbol seal. Ninja world comfortable. No matter how many times I see it, I can't help but say, well done, Sasuke. What a satisfying ending. As long as there are guys like this, the entire ninja world will suffer. Such a powerful sealing technique is actually described in the title as sealing half of the bridge. Haha, I'm now super curious about the story of Akatsuki and Kabuto. I don't want to know about Rich Lady Conan, but after all, I did say I was curious about Kabuto. This story tells us that if you do too much evil, you will be punished. He died at the hands of Sasuke just after he became the Hokage he had always dreamed of. We can only say that he deserved it. The next title appeared. Naruto and Sasuke's funny series. On screen, Naruto's shadow clone surrounded Sasuke layer by layer, and then rushed forward. What? Damn. Let me go. Naruto bared his teeth for a while, then clenched his fist and punched. Asshole. You took the bait. Take my move. With a bang, Naruto's shadow clone knocked his real body away. Sasuke looked at Naruto, who flew far away, and said to his shadow clone, hey. Did you go a little too far? The shadow clone scratched his head in embarrassment. I accidentally used too much force. Then, he reacted, when did you? Sasuke turned and ran. Stop. Bastard. Sasuke ran up a big tree, turned his body upside down and threw out 4 shurikens. Bang bang bang. Naruto's shadow clone dissipated. Naruto's real body with a swollen face looked at Sasuke with a serious expression. Damn it. If we don't find a way to deal with Sasuke's quick movements, in this case, we have no choice but to use our trump card. Sasuke lowered his ice-fit seal, Is it another shadow clone? Unexpectedly, Naruto changed his hand seal seduction technique. Chapter 231 8 Beauties Who Kissed Naruto. With a bang, a sexy blonde beauty appeared in the smoke. Hey, Sasuke, was he so frightened that he couldn't even make a sound? With that in mind, the sexy blonde raised her fist and punched Sasuke. Succeeded. Sasuke, who had no reaction at first, pulled the wire the shuriken tied with the wire went straight into Naruto's butt. It hurts. Ah, it hurts so much. With a bang, the transformation technique was lifted. Naruto covered his butt and looked at Sasuke, who wanted to leave with tears in his eyes. Sasuke, it's not over yet, Ninja World Tisk. It hurts just looking at it. Sasuke is so ruthless, he can even lay his hands on such a beautiful woman. Naruto's transformation jutsu is the real use of this jutsu, right? After all, that is the specialty of the 7th Hokage of Konoha Cure. This jutsu, Naruto is truly a genius. Too bad Sasuke is aloof and won't buy it. On screen next scene Sasuke, who is hanging upside down on the tree, said to Naruto, "We can't waste any more time, go back quickly." "I understand. But you have to wait until I finish my work." After saying that, Naruto jumped and fled into the distance. Naruto turned his head and shouted to Sasuke behind him, "I won't accept your orders." As he said that, he patted his own butt. Idiot. Then, there was a chase. Naruto ran in front, with Sasuke chasing closely behind him. Really? It's too annoying. In that case, Naruto formed a seal with his hands. With a bang, a lolly with twin ponytails stood in front of Sasuke. "Hey, wait a minute, kid. It will only take a moment." Sasuke jumped up and stepped on the face of the twin-tailed lolly, deforming her face. It hurts, Ninja World haha. This scene is so funny. Sasuke is truly a role model for our generation. Sasuke might be thinking, "You're not as good looking as me in women's clothing, and you dare to seduce me." So Sasuke's habit of hitting Naruto in the face started when he was little. Naruto, you're overthinking it. Transformation techniques are useless on Sasuke. Sasuke only likes the original Naruto. Sasuke's attitude towards Naruto, how should I put it? It gave me its Sundere vibe of "I'm ignoring you, but if you come over, I won't refuse you either." Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha Clan Land. Sasuke raised his chin proudly. Humph. This idiot. How can such a technique possibly work on me? On screen the next title appears. Guy applies to join the Anbu. In the picture Might Guy sincerely said to Sarutobi Hirozen, "Please let me join the Anbu." For Kakashi, this is the best way. Kai, I know you care about Kakashi, but you have to understand that your strengths cannot be brought into play in the Anbu. No. Don't worry about me, Sanjame. As Kakashi's partner, before he could finish, Sarutobi Hirozen turned his head and interrupted loudly, "Shut up, you are not suitable for Anbu." Kai shed 2 lines of tears and was deeply shocked. Screen turned. The distraught Kai met Danzo. "That, Danzo-sama," Danzo asked, "what are you doing? Please allow me to join the Anbu under Danzo-sama." Danzo said calmly, "Yours is not enough." Kai stared at him with those innocent eyes. "What's not enough?" Dark. After saying that, Danzo passed Guy. Ninja World hahohi. Emperor Kai's personality and moves are indeed not suitable for joining the Anbu, nor for doing that kind of assassination work. Otherwise the Anbu will eventually become the Mingbu. If Emperor Kai really joins the Anbu, I can't imagine what it would be like for a cold and serious Anbu ninja to yell youth. If Emperor Kai enters the Anbu, when he is on a mission, I'm afraid the enemy's summoning beasts will know that he is a ninja from Konoha village. How dare you look down on me, Emperor Kai? You are blind, Shimura Danzo. The new title is The 8 Beautiful Women Who Have Kissed Naruto. Have so many beautiful women tasted ramen? On screen first place, Sasuke. Naruto squatted on Sasuke's desk and looked at Sasuke unhappily. The pineapple head classmate in front of him moved so much that his elbow hit Naruto's butt. Rain Country. Naruto stretched out his hands and grasped his heart tightly, frantically saying, This part has been played 3 times already, and that beauty? What does that mean? Ninja World Tisk. Who can resist a ramen-flavored kiss? Is this the reason why Sasuke doesn't return to the village? Goose, 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 what a beauty. People from other worlds love to play pranks on others. Haha, it's over. Naruto has been kissed by so many people. His mouth is dirty. Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha Clan Land. Sasuke, who was called a beauty, had a dark face. On screen second place, Sakura. On Gaara's sand. Sakura looked at Naruto, whose 9 tails had been taken away, and recalled how he once said that he must become Hokage. She pinched Naruto's nose and began to give him artificial respiration. Palm magic appeared in her hand, and she pinched Naruto's heart. Tired dream that once seemed absurd has now become, I won't let you die. I can't let you die. I can't let you die. Because your dream is already within reach. Ninja World, is that what happened? It seems that the fourth war was not as simple as we thought. Not only Sasuke, but even Naruto was on the verge of death. These heroes have sacrificed so much for the ninja world. Sasuke, Sakura, and Hinata's first kisses all tasted like ramen. On screen, third place, Hinata. Naruto and Hinata's kiss under the moon. Next scene, fourth place, Tsunade. Naruto was kissed on the forehead by Tsunade. Next scene, fifth place, Fangho's Ayaksu. It was a picture of Naruto sleeping soundly with a bandage on his forehead, and Fukakuayuki kissing his cheek, and below the photo, there is a signature of Fujifu Ayuki. Naruto said shyly, when was the photo taken? I really hope I can sign on a more handsome photo. Next scene, number 6, Fishing Fire. Yuhiro gave Naruto artificial respiration. Next scene, 7th place. No wind. Just as Naruto was about to fight with Fufu, the other party flashed up to him and licked his cheek. Hey. Naruto was horrified, took several steps back, covered his face and asked loudly, what are you doing all of a sudden? Bu Feng said, from the smell of chakra leaking from your meridians, you have a precious wind property change, so what? Would you like to become my collection? Naruto was stunned. Not understanding what the other party meant, Bu Feng lifted his hair and asked, French style or soft style, which one do you like? Naruto asked stupidly, is that food? I meant kissing, that is to say. Naruto suddenly reacted and was shocked. Do you want a kiss? Bu Feng laughed and said, yeah. What a slow-witted child. Then she asked, do you still have your first kiss? Naruto's head shrank back, and then he said stubbornly, don't underestimate me. I have experience in kissing and so on. At this point, he turned his head and said, although the other party is a man. Chapter 232, The Greasy Day. Ninja World. Ha. Even though the other person is a man, Naruto, you are making me laugh to death. At this point, the only person who has been kissed mouth to mouth is Sasuke. I thought everyone kissed mouth to mouth, but it turns out there are also kisses on the forehead and face. I'm afraid I'll never forget the fact that Naruto and Sasuke kissed. Rain Country facing the weird looks from Konan in pain. Naruto covered his face. Damn it. How could I ever say something like that again? Fire Nation. Itachi pursed his lips first, then he pursed them hard. This is your own brother. You can't laugh, but it is precisely because he is my biological brother that I feel the urge to laugh. If it were someone else, he might not care about such things at all. On screen, Naruto shook his head back and forth, struggling in resistance. No. Don't do that. Naruto had his face held in Fufu's hand's corpse kiss. After that, she kissed him. Next scene, 8th place, Dragon Tongue. Looking at Naruto with a big hole in his stomach, he formed a Dragon Tongue seal. I am the Dragon Tongue, the one who shares life, Uzumaki Naruto, as long as you can live, the secret of our clan's inheritance. Dragon's Fate reincarnation. After performing the ninjutsu, a layer of white light shone on her body. Wook, this child is very much like you back then. He is so small that it makes people laugh, but he is also so powerful that it makes people amazed. This child must be able to protect what we want to protect. The Dragon Tongue shed tears and kissed Naruto on the lips, transferring its life force to Naruto. Rain Country. Naruto's face turned completely red. Ninja World. Is this another technique that can bring people back to life? This ninja world is so huge that there are so many mysterious techniques beyond our expectations. There are so many roads. Don't faint easily when you go out in the future, or someone will take advantage of you. There are so many beautiful women. Just then, a new video appeared on the screen. On screen, Sakura's sweet moments. Sakura, wearing a white coat, looked at Sasuke's back and asked, Sasuke? What's wrong? Could it be because I'm away from home for a long time due to my mission, and my husband and I are separated from each other, that you feel uneasy? Xiaoying stared at him for a moment, then suddenly smiled and said, why are you asking this all of a sudden? You scared me. After laughing, she said to Sasuke, I don't feel uneasy, but... Sasuke turned around and looked at her. Sometimes I wish you could be with me. Just sometimes. Hearing this, Sasuke closed his eyes and opened them. After a moment he walked up to Sakura, took her hand, and put a ring on her. Screen turned. Sasuke and Sakura held hands and looked at the lake in front of them that looked like stars. Sasuke said, Sakura? Sakura is puzzled. The ring is not transformed from chakra. It is a real ring. What? Sasuke said, even if we are separated, if there is something that can be seen, we can still feel the bond. Do you feel relieved? Sakura looked at her hands, although I like it sometimes. Maybe my hands are not suitable. I am afraid of getting them dirty with disinfectant, so I have to take them off when I work. Sasuke whispered, really? Every time I say goodbye to you, I rarely feel uneasy, but sometimes I feel anxious. When I go home and see Naruto has grown taller and you have changed your hairstyle, I would also think so. When wrinkles appeared at the corners of your eyes, wrinkles around the eyes, Sakura smiled and said, the shallow wrinkles on my face when I smile make me feel very sad. The atmosphere between the two of them was silent for a moment, and Sakura said, because I understand you, it's okay. Ninja World. Although Sasuke is not very good at expressing himself, it can be seen that he and Sakura are still very much in love. It turns out that they can be so warm as a couple. Sakura understands Sasuke even though he can't even keep her company occasionally. This shows that even Naruto and Sasuke take the future crisis of the ninja world very seriously. It is very likely to be a crisis that will destroy the world. The next thing on the screen was not a video, but a picture. But just this one picture made many people's eyes moisten, especially the Fugaku family. Even someone as serious as Fugaku couldn't help but feel a lump in his throat. On screen in the photo, a little girl wearing red-framed glasses was holding a tissue in her chubby hands and wiping the tears of Sasuke on TV. After he learned the truth, the little girl was Sarada. Sasuke's tears flowed uncontrollably down his cheeks. He covered his heart and felt a warmth there. It was a feeling he had never experienced before. This is my daughter, Zorana. Ninja World. Even though I know this is fake, it's so touching. Woo! Little Peanut is like Sasuke's little cotton padded jacket. So warm, so cute. This picture, Sasuke will probably be very touched when he sees this. Right. On screen next video title, Hinata Hayashi's birthday gift. Hyuga clan. Hinata asked in confusion. Birthday party, Hanabi said. Yes, my father's birthday is coming soon. He hasn't seen his lovely grandchildren recently. He misses them very much, although he didn't say it out loud. Hinata smiled embarrassedly. By the way, Boruto didn't go camping last time either. Yes, so I would like to ask my sister to convey this. He will be very happy if he can receive gifts from his grandchildren. The other side. Rezu held the teacup and took out a photo from his sleeve. He sighed. Alice. My lovely Boruto, Himawari. As he spoke, he put the photo against his face. Grandpa misses you guys so much. Ninja World. Hinata's sister is so beautiful. It's the time again after Naruto becomes Hokage, and it looks like Boruto and his sister are going to make an appearance too. That's great. I feel like these videos have a strong storytelling quality. And each story is very interesting. It's Naruto and Sasuke. Their lives are so legendary that their experiences are so wonderful. Fire Nation Muai Village. Hyuga clan. Hinata glanced at Hayashi cautiously, seeing that the other party still had no expression. He had to turn around and continue looking at the screen. She was naturally very happy to see her future son and daughter again. She likes Boruto very much. I liked it from the first sight I saw it on screen. Naruto's house dinner table. Naruto said, "Hey, birthday party? That's a good idea. I'll find a way to ask for leave. Looking forward to visiting Grandpa's house." Boruto holds a bowl of rice. I forgot everything about Grandpa Hayashi's birthday. Naruto criticized seriously. Boruto, how could you forget this? Hinata smiled at Naruto and said, "Oh, I thought you forgot too." Naruto pulled his head back and picked up the food much faster. Boruto folded his arms and closed his eyes. But, I feel heavy-hearted when I think about going to my grandfather's house. Isn't he too annoying? Naruto swallowed the food in his mouth and said to him, "Your grandpa is scary when he gets angry. I really can't believe this because I've never seen it before." Hinata said, "It's Grandpa's birthday, so both of you should prepare a gift for him." Sunflower agreed without hesitation. Okay. Then she held the chopsticks in her mouth and thought, what should I prepare? Chapter 233, Konoha's strongest? Boruto, who was eating rice, also thought, gift. What would Grandpa like? Screen turn. Boruto brought Mitsuki to infiltrate the Hyuga clan. Boruto bared his teeth. I got in smoothly. Mitsuki asked, "Hey, why don't you just go through the main entrance?" Boruto whispered, "Of course, it's because it would be troublesome if we were discovered. Not only the grandfather who nags his grandson all day, but also Sister Hanabi." This sudden startled Boruto. Hanabi leaned against the wooden railing and asked, "Who are you saying is in trouble?" Boruto seemed to be very scared of his aunt, and even spoke in a much softer voice, "Sister Hanabi." Mitsuki also said, "Excuse me." Screen turn. In the living room. Hanabi laughed and said, "How dare you sneak into the Byakugan clan's house? It's impossible to stay undetected." Boruto, who was drinking coke, said arrogantly, "I was just a little careless." Hanabi propped up her chin. I understand you are worried about the gift, but I don't know what kind of gift my father would like. What? Hanabi-sama doesn't know either. What should I do? Mitsuki asked in confusion. Excuse me, isn't Hanabi-sensei Boruto's aunt? Why do you call her sister? Boruto was horrified, his face turned purple. Hey. Mitsuki, Huho smiled and said, yes. That's my sister. Then she looked at Boruto. Father is at home, so why don't I ask him directly for you? Boruto waved his hands quickly. No need. As he said this, he lay listlessly on the table. If he knew I was here, he would definitely get annoyed again. Yes, it would be too embarrassing to do that in front of friends. At this point, Huho covered her mouth and laughed twice. Ninja World, what on earth did Boruto go through that made him so afraid of his grandfather's disgusting things? It must be that his grandfather loves his grandson too much? Many old people are like this. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Seeing this, Rizu felt a little embarrassed. Will he be so annoying in the future? He felt that, although he also liked Boruto, it shouldn't be that bad, right? Looking at the fireworks on the screen, he felt a little emotional. Hanabi has grown up, too, and seems to have become a teacher, leading the Jonin. On screen Boruto lay on the table and said listlessly, when will he let go of his grandson? Just then, a loud roar was heard outside the Hyuga clan's gate. Is anyone there? Is anyone there? I am Gate from the Hidden Cloud Village. This time I would like to challenge the head of the Hyuga clan, the strongest family in Konoha. As he said this, he slammed his mace to the ground. Since you are the one who bears the title of strongest, please accept the challenge. In the living room Boruto was surprised. Are there still such traditional challengers these days? Professional kicking, Huho said helplessly. Alice. There are still people who think too much? Boruto clenched his fist and laughed. You dare to challenge Grandpa? You really don't know your limits? Mitsuki asked. Is your grandpa very strong? Of course. He is not the head of the family for nothing. He can easily deal with this kind of person. At this time, the voice of Rizu was heard from inside the house. Hello? Hanabi? Is Hanabi there? Hearing the sound, Boruto and Mitsuki quickly rolled out and Rizu continued. Thank you for your help. Please follow the old rules. Yes. Father. Screen turn. After hearing what Hanabi said, Gate asked in confusion. What? The head of the family is not here? Huho smiled and said, yes, unfortunately he is not in the village. Thank you for coming from afar, but please go back. This is impossible. I can't explain it to you clearly. Hand over Hinata Hayashi. Hanabi still had the same expression and said with a smile, how can I make friends if I'm not here? I understand. He doesn't dare to accept my challenge. Avoiding the challenge means I won. How dare he call himself the strongest in Konoha? After saying this, Gate put the mace on his shoulder and left with a big laugh. Huho said helplessly, I really want to sprinkle salt to ward off evil spirits. Boruto ran over and asked, why is Grandpa pretending not to be here? Wouldn't it be enough to defeat him? Who knows? He always behaves like this when someone challenges him. Boruto is surprised. Is it always like this? Ninja World, shouldn't the strongest be Naruto, Sasuke and Emperor Kai? Could it be that Konoha village has hidden other powerful weapons? Who knows? But it made me laugh when I saw Boruto's aunt said she wanted to sprinkle salt to ward off evil spirits. Since he's quite capable and Boruto thinks highly of him, why doesn't he accept the challenge? Wouldn't he be looked down upon? Who cares? Anyway, in Konoha, the strongest person I recognize and respect the most is Emperor Kai. He is so strong through his own efforts. The next ones are Naruto and Sasuke, who are the reincarnations of the Six-Path Sage's son. As for the others, forget it. Oh. I understand. Boruto's grandfather's strongest should be followed by a suffix. The strongest should also be followed by a head of the family. Wouldn't the meaning change? That's right. With Naruto, Sasuke, and Emperor Kai here, how dare he call himself the strongest? Even if I'm Naruto's father-in-law, I can't stand him. He can be infinitely tolerant of Naruto, even Naruto's son. He loves him as well, but for his father-in-law. Sorry, you are too distant from Naruto Pure Land. The slight interest that Madara had just shown suddenly disappeared when he saw Hayashi. An expert will know if there is one as soon as he takes action. Even if Rizu didn't make a move, he wouldn't be interested. It's just a gut feeling. This guy is not that great. Izuna let out a sigh. How can the Hyuga clan be considered the strongest? I'm afraid that this clan leader is just the strongest among the Hyuga clan. I think even Sakura is stronger than him. That is to say, there will be fewer Uchiha people in the future, and they will no longer be called a clan. Otherwise, Uchiha Sasuke alone could claim the title of the strongest clan in Konoha? This Gate from Kumagakure is so ignorant. He has the ability to challenge Sasuke. On screen after hearing what Hanabi said, Mitsuki asked, could it be that what that person just said was right, that he is actually very weak? Boruto retorted, how is that possible? He is much more powerful than Sister Hanabi. Really, I am increasingly confused about Grandpa's thoughts. Having said that, Boruto left angrily. Wait for me. Boruto Hanabi looked at their backs. Forget it, Boruto will understand when he grows up. After returning to the room, she said to Rizu, Father, I drove him away according to the old rules. Thank you. No, it's nothing. You must have a reason for doing this, right? Hayashi said, it is easy to solve problems with force, but the strongest point that Hyuga advocates now is not the force. If I had understood this earlier. As he spoke, he took out a photo and looked at Neji and Hisashi in the photo, a little absent-minded. Ninja world, so, all the strong ones have stories. Is it because he once used force to solve problems and killed his twin brother? So he learned from his mistakes and decided to be a strong person and not care about what others think of his avoidance of war. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Neji stared at the expression of Hayashi on the screen in a daze. Are you feeling guilty? Chapter 234. Is Shisu not dead? On screen inside the burger shop, Boruto said unhappily, that kind of guy who doesn't know his place should be taught a lesson, so that he knows what the difference in strength is. Mitsuki asked, is your grandfather a kind person? It's true that he dotes on me and Sunflower. But everyone says that he used to be a very strict person, so, what opportunity changed him? Opportunity, Mitsuki said, if we can figure this out, maybe we can find a suitable gift. That makes sense. Boruto fell into deep thought. If we talk about who is most likely to know, at this time, hey. Get out of the way. I want to sit here, the villager who was pushed away by Gate asked, what's wrong with you? Shut up. You dare to resist me? I just defeated the strongest Hyuga in this village. The villager was startled and quickly apologized. I'm sorry. Ha ha ha. Gate laughed arrogantly. Gate's companions laughed and said, I didn't expect the Hyuga clan to be so vulnerable. Yes, Hyuga Hayashi was afraid of my strength and didn't dare to accept the challenge, so he pretended to be out. How dare a coward call himself the strongest? The Konoha ninjas are too depraved. Ahohahaha. Boruto stood up. That guy, I really can't stand it. He ran to their table. Hey. You two, what is it, boy? Boruto clenched his fists and said to them, I am the grandson of Hyuga Hayashi who you are laughing at. First it was the woman, then the grandson. It seems that the Hyuga family is very good at using women and children as shields. Ho ha ho ha. Boruto was so angry that he gritted his teeth. Shut up. I accept your challenge on behalf of my grandfather. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. The corners of Rizu's mouth curled up slightly. Are you standing up for me, Boruto? Hayashi saw Hinata secretly looking at him from the corner of his eye, and he immediately frowned, but the corner of his mouth couldn't be suppressed for a moment. On screen turned. The two stood opposite each other. It's no use crying and begging for mercy now, kid. Hearing Gate's words, Boruto laughed. I was just about to say that. Very good. Lightning release, thunder crushing stick. The mace in Gate's hand was wrapped in arcs of electricity, and he smashed it towards Boruto. Boruto dodged nimbly. You can only hide here and there? You just said something ridiculous. It's really hilarious. As he said that, Gate hit him with the stick again. Don't look down on me. Boruto crouched down and punched Gate in the stomach. After knocking him back several steps with one punch, Boruto stood up. Why, your ability is far inferior to that of Sister Hanabi. Ninja world. Everyone felt as if a crow was flying over their heads. That's it. I'm afraid this guy from Kumagakure is not even at the Chunin level. Although I don't know how strong the Hyuga clan leader is, he is not someone this guy can handle. Boruto now wears a forward protector and has become a ninja. The streets of Konoha village in the future are very luxurious. It seems that Konoha village has developed very well after Naruto became Hokage. On screen Gate was enraged by Boruto and hit him with stick after stick. Boruto can only dodge passively. I saw the buildings on the street being smashed by maces. This will only increase the losses. There's nothing we can do. Boruto condensed the Rasengan in his hand and pressed it towards the mace. At this time, Boom Bagwa's Hang, returned to the heavens. Hayashi used Kaiten to block the attacks of both him and Grandpa. Why are you here? Hayashi stood between the two and said, I received news that someone is fighting in the name of Hyuga. This is really. Gate sat up, looked at Hayashi and asked, Hinata Hayashi, how dare you refuse my challenge before? Rizu stared at him with his white eyes. My grandson is reckless. It's my fault for not disciplining him. If you really want to compete with me, I can accept it. How about it? Gate was stared at by those white eyes and his face was covered with cold sweat. No, no. That's enough. After saying that, he picked up the mace, turned around and ran away. Grandpa is awesome, Rizu sighed. What's so great about that? It's wrong to solve problems by using force and fear. That will only lead to tragedy and leave behind irreparable regrets, Boruto asked in confusion. But why do you want to let others misunderstand that you are weak? I just can't stand seeing others laugh at you. Just ignore him. Hyuga's strength will not be shaken by this. I don't understand what Grandpa said, Boruto, Rizu said dejectedly. Forget it. I have no right to teach you a lesson. Before I was enlightened, my behavior was completely contrary to that. Who woke me up? It's all in the past. You will understand it later. Having said that, Rizu turned around and walked away slowly. Mitsuki flashed in front of Boruto and said, Boruto's grandfather is really amazing. He knew the right way and didn't let you two get hurt, Mitsuki. You saw it all. Why didn't you tell me that Grandpa was coming? But I am getting more and more confused. He is so strong. Why does he hate to use force? At this time, Sarutobi Mirei arrived. Huh? Boruto, future sister. In the ninja world, some people care about the plot, some care about strength, and some care about the newly appeared Sarutobi Mirei. The Hyuga clan leader seems to be quite powerful, but he certainly can't compare to Naruto and Sasuke. I admit that the Hyuga clan leader has some skills, but that's all he has, no more. This girl looks a lot like the one Itachi entrusted his eyes to. Are those red eyes the Sharingan? Pure Land Shisa scratched his head, trying to remember if he had ever been hung over. After quickly reviewing his life from childhood to adulthood, he finally determined that this future sister that Bo mentioned had nothing to do with him. Fire Nation. Looking at Sarutobi Mirei and the other party's red eyes, Itachi's eyes widened slightly. Is Shisu not dead? No, I won't. Itachi pondered over what Sarutobi's future would look like. She looks a lot like Shisu, but she also looks a lot like Kurani-senpai. Their eyes are similar, too, therefore, this little girl should not be the descendant of Shisu. Itachi felt a little ashamed. His previous thoughts were really rude. Daming Mansion. Asuma and Dilu looked at each other. Asuma wondered, did Shisu fake his death? Muai Village. Hyuga clan Niji clenched his fists. Now that it's already been done, what's the point of feeling guilty? Can this bring my father's life back? Although he said so, the hatred in his heart was somehow much less. Inside the mansion, Rizu watched the scene in silence. After being enlightened, have you come to your senses? Uchiha clan Land. Sasuke suspected that he had seen it wrong. He rubbed his eyes. Brother Shisu. Sasuke shook his head again. No, this should be Sister Shisu. The Sunset House. Zahikirani frowned and thought, could it be the bloodline left by Shisu before his death? But he was too young when he jumped off the cliff to commit suicide. Hokage building. After seeing what the future would look like, Sarutobi Hiruzen also fell into deep thought at this moment. He was also doubting that Shisu is not actually dead. Although he saw Shisu jumping off the cliff, he had never seen Shisu's body. The news he got from Uchiha was just that Shisu suddenly disappeared. Chapter 235. Hinata and number 039, S passed. On screen, Sarutobi Mirei walked up to Boruto and asked, I heard that there were ninjas fighting each other in the street. What happened? Was it you? Boruto quickly denied. No, I misunderstood. Future doubted. Really? Are you going to cause trouble again? No. Hearing Boruto's denial, Mirei helplessly put his hands on his hips and said, forget it. Don't be naughty all the time. It's hard for me to deal with it. Hinata will find out from my mother. Boruto turned around, pouted and whispered, mind your own business. Mitsuki asked, are the mothers on both sides on good terms? My future sister's mother, Aunt Hong, used to be the captain of my mother's team, Mitsuki suggested. Why not ask her about the Hyuga family? How clever. Mitsuki. Screen turn. Fire Nation. Itachi had an expression that said, as expected, the relationship between Asuma and Kurani was previously revealed when the screen was showing the plot of him and Kisame going to Konoha. So obviously, Mirei is the child of Kurani and Asuma. Daming Mansion. Dilu couldn't help but smile. He looked at the embarrassed Asuma and joked, another guy who can't even recognize his own daughter. But it's not your fault. Your daughter looks 70% like you, 80% like Hong, and 90% like Shisu. Plus, her red eyes flashed just now, so it's normal to make a mistake. Muai Village. The Sunset House. When Zairi Hong saw the woman on the screen, Her pretty face blushed. The future is mine, and Asuma's child, Hokage building Sarutobi Hiruzen's face also turned red. He touched his nose to hide his embarrassment. It turns out that she is his own granddaughter, but who can blame the future for being exactly like Shisu? Minaga shrined the elder side. Is Shisu really dead? Looks like there's no need to look for Shisu anymore. On screen the sunset house you see. Now, I do know something about it, but I don't know if I should tell you, since it involves the secrets of our clan, the future said very sensibly. Then let's step aside for a while. As she spoke, she stood up and hooked her finger at Mitsuki, signaling him to leave with her. Boruto said, I'm sorry, it has come to this point. I really want to clarify. After the two of them left the room, Hong spoke. You should know about the Hyuga branch family and branch family, right? In the past, the relationship between the two was strictly master-servant, and there was a deep gap between them. I have heard something about this matter, Hong said. The event that determined Hayashi's behavior was the sacrifice of his twin brother, Hayashi from the branch family, for the main family. In order to resolve a dispute with other villages, one of the two brothers, Hayashi, had to sacrifice his life. Then, could it be? Boruto seemed to have guessed the ending. Hong continued, it was Hayashi who made up his mind to sacrifice himself, but there is no doubt that he died in place of Hayashi. In order to protect the Hyuga family and the entire village, and also to let his brother die with peace of mind, Hayashi made up his mind and became a strict head of the family, but Hayashi still regretted it. The forced high-pressure style eventually made many people live in misery, whether it was Hinata or Niji. But don't worry, the old Rezu has changed. I think this good Grandpa Rezu who loves you must be the other side of him that he has suppressed for many years. Boruto looked worried and asked, is this why he is so annoying? So please be more tolerant. Boruto smiled helplessly. I will try my best. Ninja World. Someone was amused by Boruto. Boruto really dislikes his grandfather. I was quite sad when I heard about the past of the Hyuga clan before, but Boruto's words ruined the atmosphere. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Hayashi closed his eyes. So, in the end, did he choose to be his true self? What his grandson said was so sad. Little Hinata felt that the oppressive feeling from her father suddenly disappeared. Niji's pupils trembled violently. Is this the truth? My father was trying to protect Hinata and the village. Why didn't my uncle ever tell me this? If I told him this, how could he still harbor resentment towards his uncle and sister? On screen Hyuga clan. Happy birthday. Boruto and Himori stood on the left and right of Hinata Hayashi and opened the fireworks in their hands. Also at the table were Hanabi, Hinata, and Naruto. Hinata said to Hayashi, the two children said they prepared gifts for you. Himori handed the gift box in her hand to Ritsu to Grandpa Hinata. Hayashi looked at the sunflower in front of him and smiled kindly. Is it for Grandpa? My mother and I picked this together. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Looking at the lovely appearance of the sunflower on the screen, Rizu felt like his heart was about to melt. It is true that grandparents are close to their grandparents. He likes both Himori and Boruto very much. If they really appeared in front of him, he would probably find it difficult to pretend to be as dignified as usual. On screen Hinata Hayashi opened the gift box and took out a hot water bottle. This is, Sunflower said obediently. Grandpa, I wish you good health and never catch a cold. Huho smiled and said, how is it? Are you touched? Hinata Hayashi was so moved that tears and snot almost fell to the ground. I will cherish it. Listening to Boruto's laughter, Naruto asked, Boruto, you also prepared a gift, right? Yes. Grandpa, let's go to the yard and take a look. Courtyard, is it such a big gift? Boruto said, no, I will make the gift now. Screen turn. Yunazi Sunflower exclaimed, wow. A family photo. This, Naruto glanced at Hayashi who was standing next to him and said, this is an interesting idea. Hinata also said, it's been a long time since we took a photo together. Hayashi looked at Boruto standing in front of the camera and asked, Boruto, don't you want to take a photo with your grandfather? Boruto covered his face and said, it's because you always put your face close to me, Grandpa. Then he looked at the camera again. Besides, I think family photos are very important. We should always leave some memories of the days when the family is happily together. Rizu looked touched. Boruto turned around and grinned. I will take photos with you every year on this day until I become the most powerful and strongest ninja. Hayashi couldn't stop crying. His nose turned red. Grandpa is so happy. Boruto, this gift is great. After saying that, he ran towards Boruto. Looks like asking for a hug. Boruto was shocked. No. I told you to stop being so annoying. Okay. Rizu didn't care. Boruto, seeing Hayashi getting closer, Boruto turned and ran. The two of them just circled around the camera. Boruto ran wildly with his short legs, and Hayashi behind him stretched out his arms to chase him closely. Screen turn came Boruto's voice. Come on. Stand still. We are going to take a photo. Smile, click. A photo was taken. In the photo, everyone is smiling happily. Chapter 236, Invalidity of Personal Evidence. Ninja World. Haha, what on earth did Boruto go through before that made him so scared of his grandfather? Look at that old man, he looks like he wants to hug Boruto. It's disgusting just thinking about it. Haha, it's so warm. I hope this warmth can last forever. Naruto has been too tired in his life. It's time for him and the ninja world to take a good rest. Although Himawari is cute, I still like Boruto more. Haha, he's too annoying. On screen the video comes to the last scene. The next day Sarada asked Boruto, in the end, what birthday present did you give? Don't ask, Mitsuki said. Your grandpa, are you very happy? He is a little too happy. As Boruto finished his words, he saw a figure around the corner. Boruto panicked. Hayashi opens his arms. Boruto. What a coincidence. As he said that, he had already come to Boruto and hugged him. I just happened to be going to your house to play. How are you? Boruto struggled violently. What do you mean, good or bad? Didn't we just see each other yesterday? Hizu rubbed his face with his. Isn't this good? Oh no. Hey, then. He was lifted up high by Rizu. Boruto waved his hands wildly. This is so embarrassing. Grandpa, looking at the scene in front of her, a drop of sweat slid down Sarada's face. It seems that I am indeed too happy, Mitsuki, who always seemed to have that calm expression and tone, said, but I seem to be a little envious. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. The corners of Ningxi's mouth twitched. I can no longer look directly at that majestic head of the family. Hinata glanced furtively at Hayashi. She seemed to know why Boruto was so afraid of his father. Not just her, but basically everyone knows about it. On screen next title, Naruto's loyal little fan. Koki put his hands in his pockets, looked at Naruto who was walking in front of him and asked, hey, where are you taking me? Naruto smiled and said, let's go to my house. Let's go. As he said this, he turned around and looked behind him where there was no one. HMPH, I guessed it right. Screen turn. Koki ran all the way on the roof. Fool, whether he's a Hokage or not, I don't care. He leaped onto the street and was about to continue running away when he was stunned. Naruto leaned lazily against the wall, tilting his head to look at Koki. Oh, Ninja World, oh, it touches my heart. There's so much. So cool. Haha, you actually want to run away in front of Naruto? You are such an ignorant brat. What a coincidence. I'm also a fanboy of Naruto. Thanks to the live broadcast, I was able to see the experiences of Emperor Kai, Naruto, and Sasuke. Otherwise, I would never know how great they are. That's right. If there hadn't been a live broadcast, even if they had become the saviors of the ninja world, I wouldn't have admired them that much. I would have simply thought that they were strong, and I wouldn't have understood what it meant to be strong. But after seeing their experiences, it's different. On screen inside the Hokage's office, Koki said to Naruto, let me make it clear in advance, I won't introduce myself. Naruto, sitting in the Hokage's office chair, said confidently, you have asked the right person for this. Let me teach you. Screen turn. Koki's eyes widened, and he lowered his voice and shouted, my name is Koki, my favorite is Taiyaki. He matched the movements. Please take care of us. A female classmate below was almost frightened to tears by his ferocious appearance, and whispered in fear, this guy is so scary. Koki turned his head away. Really? I knew it would be like this. I shouldn't have listened to him. Ninja World. He actually introduced himself the way Naruto taught him? Ha ha ha, Naruto did it on purpose. Right, you knew this would happen, but you still listened to him? Oh, and he might have just met Naruto. I'm already embarrassed for him. On screen turn. In class, the Hidden Leaf Village has been ruled by Hokage from generation to generation, starting with the first Hokage, Hoshirama Senju, and there have been 7 Hokage so far. After that, the Chunin teacher said to Koki, then let Koki-san answer this question. Koki-san. Koki, who was supporting his face with one hand, looked at her. What? He looked like he didn't care what the laborer did. The Chunin teacher asked, what do you know about the successive Hokage, Naruto? Koki got excited all of a sudden. He stood up and said enthusiastically, the 7th Hokage Uzumaki Naruto is the son of the 4th Hokage and the 9 Tails Jinchuriki. His specialty is the multiple shadow clone technique. His favorite ramen is Ichiraku's miso ramen. He occasionally wears his shirt inside out. He is simply the most perfect ninja. A drop of sweat slid down the cheek of the Chunin teacher. Well, the information about the 7th Hokage is enough here. Let's talk about the other Hokage. Hearing what the teacher said, Koki sat back on the chair. I don't know about the others, Ninja World, haha. You have good taste. I approve of you, little brat. Actually, I quite like Hashirama, like Yongdae Mei. It can be seen that this brat really admires Naruto. Pure Land Kushina looked proud until she saw the next video on screen. Title, Naruto, personal testimony is invalid. Koki said, that ninjutsu that can split into 2 parts, that's good. It can help you pass the time when you're bored, right? The 7th generation Naruto laughed and said, no, I have tried it, many years ago. I have personally verified that it is ineffective. In memory from the time Naruto used a shadow clone to entertain himself at the age of 15, to the time he was 12, to the time he was 6, to the time he was 3, scenes of loneliness flashed by quickly. Pure Land. The smile on Kushina's face slowly disappeared. A dull pain came over my heart after seeing this video. Everyone in the ninja world fell silent. Ninja world, it has been a very difficult journey for Naruto. Fortunately, Naruto finally realized his dream and became Hokage. On screen next video, Naruto, who was training with Jiraiya, turned around and asked, what have you been mumbling about since the beginning? Lecherous sage. Jiraiya smiled and said, nothing, I was just thinking that my grandson is you. I am your grandson? What are you talking about? Jiraiya stepped forward and put his arm around Naruto's shoulders. Don't say that. Come here. My grandson. Screen turned. Jiraiya, his body covered with the black rods, fell into the sea. A hand patted Naruto's shoulder as he was on his way, and Naruto's body paused. Screen turn on the park bench. Naruto held his popsicle and cried silently. Everyone in the ninja world, the knife came suddenly, catching people off guard. Oh. Next video. The next video must be a relaxing one. It makes my chest feel tight and depressing. Jiraiya may be the scar that Naruto will never be able to heal. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 237, Frogboard. On screen, next video, Rain Country. In the hut of Jiraiya and his apprentice, the 3 red wooden boards had the names of 3 people written on them, Nagato, Yohiko, and Konan. Jiraiya, who was dressed in a frog costume, looked at the 3 little ones from the land of rain in front of him and said, the one on the far right is Konan, the one in the middle is Yohiko, and the one on the left is Nagato. Yohiko asked in confusion, what is that? Jiraiya answered, this is called a frog board. Frog board. Ninja World. Konan was so cute when she was little. Is that the Rinnegan? The child in the middle looks a bit like Naruto. What happened to them? They don't look like people who would do evil things, do they? I remember that the middle Yohiko died. Maybe that's why. Rain Country. A hint of nostalgia flashed across Zainan's eyes. The old days were so beautiful. At that time, Yohiko was still alive. On screen, yes. The front is red, and the back is white. Jiraiya turned the board over, revealing the frog pattern. You can flip the board over like this. The 3 little frogs looked at Jiraiya with cute faces. Seeing that the 3 still didn't understand, Jiraiya explained, in short, when you are at the base, turn the wooden board to red, and when you go out, turn the wooden board to white before going out. By the way, this picture means that you will be back soon. Zion asked, but why do we have to do this? The security around here is still very poor, and this place may be attacked at any time. In fact, it is the easiest to be targeted when staying here. Once the hiding place is exposed, it is the easiest to be attacked by sneak attacks. Zion understood. That is to say, if the board is red, but the person in the middle is not there, it is possible that the enemy has captured him. If it is white, but the person has always been in the room, it is possible that the enemy has transformed himself. If the above situation occurs, it should be discovered immediately, right? After hearing what she said, Nagato and Yohiko also understood. Jiraiya put his hands on his hips and said, that's about it. You understand it very well, Konan. You are much smarter than Yohiko, the little green frog in the middle retorted unconvincedly. I understand it too. Then, he pouted and whispered, I think I understand. Nagato and Konan tried to remake it, and Nagato seemed to be worried about Yohiko's IQ. Does Yohiko really understand? Although the teacher has already helped him to remake it this time, Yohiko, who was being drenched in the rain outside, opened his arms and said loudly, I want to become stronger and stronger, and then, use my power to change this country. Nagato stared blankly at Konan and Jiraiya's backs as they walked towards Yahiko. After a moment, a smile appeared on his face. Screen turn. Yahiko rushed towards the Kune in Nagato's hand. Yahiko, screen turn. We are pain. We are God. Screen turn. The masked man closed Nagato's body's eyes with his hands. Rain Country's Ayanan's pupils suddenly tightened. Pain soothed him softly. Since we have chosen this path, we have already been mentally prepared for a bad ending. Right. On screen turns. Ayanan was lying on the water. A piece of red paper floated out from his chest, floated towards the wooden house where he lived in his childhood, and covered the last frog board. Rain Country, seeing the scene of Konan's death, Pain burst into a burst of energy, and the floor beneath his feet was shattered. Calm down, Nagato. Naruto shivered. I didn't do that, did I? As for Nagato and Konan, although Akatsuki and Naruto are enemies on the screen, no one doubts that Naruto was responsible for Konan's death. Pain's eyes were full of coldness. Is it the masked man? It seems that this is the only possibility. It must be that masked man who wanted to take away his Rinnegan after his death. Ninja world. They're all dead. It's so depressing. Rich Lady Xiaonan has also gone home. It makes my heart ache to see this. It's all that old Danzo's fault. He is the culprit behind everything. If it weren't for him, perhaps these tragedies wouldn't have happened. Jiraiya covered his stuffy chest. Konan and Nagato also died of his disciples. Only Naruto survived on screen. Minato, who was still holding the pot, had slightly red cheeks and stared at Kushina blankly. I am going to be a father. I'm going to be a mother, Kushina said with a slight blush on her cheeks before she excitedly rushed towards Minato. Screen turn. Kyuubi's nails pierced through both of them. Screen turn. Before Kushina's chakra dissipated, she hugged Naruto. Screen turn. Minato's impure world reincarnation was lifted and a tear fell. Ninja world anchor, do you want to kill me? Wow, that's too cruel. It's starting to squeeze my heart hard again. I can feel the same damn pain. On screen Ningxi blushed and said happily, Father, it's snowing. Screen turny, don't like practicing taijutsu. After hearing what Hinata said, Niji's face became serious. What are you talking about? You are the one who will inherit the Hyuga family in the future. Be more optimistic and confident. Hinata's voice was as soft as a mosquito's hum. It would be great if Brother Ningxi could replace me. Brother Ningxi is so awesome. Being praised by Hinata, Niji's cheeks flushed, but he still said with a serious face, don't say such things. I will make you stronger. When you are in danger, I will protect you with my life. Just then, snowflakes began to fall from the sky again. Ha! Hinata-sama. It's snowing. I had a snowball fight with my dad this morning and I hid him twice. Screen turn. Niji and Hisashi sat nearby and watched Hinata and Hayashi spar. Hayashi said to Niji, listen carefully, Niji. You were born with the ability to protect Miss Hinata and the Hyuga family. Yes. Father. Screen turn. Little Hinata had a bandage on her eyes and was groping for a teacup on the table at this moment. A hand gently pushed the teacup to Hinata's hand. Next is the teapot. After drinking the water, Hinata knelt on the ground. Fireworks exploded not far away. Not far behind her, a figure was standing there with his arms folded. Hinata seemed to sense something and asked in confusion, is anyone here? Niji said nothing. It's an illusion. Screen turn. The brother and sister stood back to back. Please rest assured, I will stay by your side until your eyes recover, just like you protected me back then. Ningxi asked, I protect you? At that time, before the fireworks display started, Naruto and the others came to tell me, you knew this a long time ago? Ninja world. Ningxi is like a knight, silently protecting his sister. It's very heartwarming. I have a bad feeling, based on the previous plots, it is very likely that Niji will die. This is something that is easy to infer. Chapter 238. Nagato. As expected in screen, Hayashi looked into the distance with his eyes open, sweat dripping down his face. Oh no. We're being targeted. There are too many of them, relying on Hinata and Niji's empty palms. At this moment Hinata opened her arms, trying to use her body to block the attack from the 10 tails. For Naruto came Niji's voice. Blind eyes, Niji blocked the 2 spikes for Hinata without hesitation. Shishi. Naruto, who was supporting himself on the ground with his hands, was startled and turned his head with a plop. Niji, whose body was pierced by spikes, fell from mid-air. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Niji looked at himself, dying in Naruto's arms, with a complicated look in his eyes. Is that really the case? Hinata's tears suddenly flowed down. Brother Niji. Hayashi clenched his fists tightly, his heart filled with self-blame. Niji sacrificed his life to protect Hinata. Hisashi. I'm sorry. My future self failed to protect Niji. On screen next video. The difference between having a son and a daughter. Early morning. Hinata said to Himori and Boruto, "You two should wake up dad together, it is good," Himori said as she ran towards Naruto's room. Boruto put his hands in his pockets and followed slowly. Sunflower opened the door. "Dad, get up quickly." Seeing that Naruto didn't respond, she walked to Naruto's bed and whispered in his ear, "Get up quickly." She reached out a finger and poked Naruto's arm gently. "Get up quickly." Boruto laughed, "Such a cute method. Can't wake up dad. It has to be like this." As he spoke, he jumped high into the air. "Ola, get up quickly." Naruto was awakened by his shouting and opened his eyes a crack. Before he could react, he was hit by Boruto and bent over. Pure land cushion. His heart was almost melted by Himori's cuteness. The corners of Minato's mouth curled up in a gentle arc. "I really want to meet you, Boruto." Himori, Ninja World. "Hey, it hurts." Boruto's way of waking you up is really unbearable for ordinary people. "Sunflowers are cute. Boruto is cute too, haha." Ola, Boruto might have accepted a mission to assassinate the Hokage. The reason why Naruto is still sleeping is probably because he is tired. Just look at how well Konoha develops in the future, and you will know how busy Naruto is as the Hokage. Why blame the Hokage's job? You should blame Hinata. On screen. Boruto trapped. Boruto heard a noise outside the door. "Is it? Dad is back," muttering. He opened the door and threw a punch, but Sasuke caught it easily. Boruto saw that it was not Naruto but a stranger, and apologized quickly. "Sorry, I thought it was my dad who came back." Naruto's son. Hinata came out a little surprised. "Are you Sasuke?" However, Sasuke, who had just returned to the village, only had Naruto in his mind. Sasuke asked, "Where's Naruto?" "I think he's still in the Hokage's office." "Really? Sorry to bother you." Boruto looked at Sasuke's back and fell into deep thought. "This man is my father's rival." His cheeks flushed slightly. "So handsome. Ninja World, haha. Did they just meet? You conquered her right away." If Naruto knew about this, wouldn't he be jealous? Why is Naruto jealous? Didn't his son inherit his genes? The Uzumaki clan is still unclear about Himori, but the rest of them have a mysterious obsession with Sasuke, such as Naruto, Boruto, and Karin. The title of the next video is about Zio. When seeing this title, many people perked up. The videos about the future are just daily life at best. If Naruto and Sasuke fail to save the ninja world in the end because of the live broadcast, it is still uncertain whether they can live to see that time. But Akatsuki is different. This organization may also become a crisis to the ninja world, putting aside the live broadcast and returning to reality. In their eyes, people with the Rinnegan are also gods who need them to look up to. Then, they saw three people on the screen. They are Naruto, Konan, and Nagato, who is covered with the gangsters on screen. Title, Nagato's Memories, and the Birth of Akatsuki. Naruto said to Nagato, "I want to hear you guys finish speaking before I give you an answer." Nagato's pair of reincarnation eyes stared at Naruto for a moment, and slowly said, "Okay, I will tell you about our pain one by one." Nagato, "This is just a waste of time. Get rid of this guy immediately." "Wait, Konan. I want to know the answer to this guy. Besides, he is not an easy opponent to defeat. He defeated 6 pains and came here alone." Seeing Zion and stopped talking, Nagato then continued, "I have 2 biggest pains. One is the death of my parents. The Omega Cure was dragged into the war by the great country and became a battlefield." In memory, Nagato hugged his shoulders and huddled in the corner, shivering. Just then, the sound of the door opening was heard. "Did you find anything?" "Ah, it's canned food. After 4 days, we finally have food." "No, it's 3 days. It doesn't matter what. Just eat quickly. It's already the limit. I'll look somewhere else later. Maybe I'll find something." Nagato's father, Eyes, said softly. "Escape now?" Nagato asked quietly. "What will happen if I'm discovered?" "I'm so scared." Eyes stroked his head gently. "It's okay. Just be quiet and don't make any noise." After saying that, he stood up slowly, afraid of making any noise and being discovered by the ninjas in the house. Eyes first hid behind the door and observed the ninjas in the house. Seeing that they seemed to be looking for something, he waved to his wife Fuzo and Nagato, signaling them to come over as soon as possible. But at this moment, the 2 ninjas threw something to the ground. With a bang, the wooden floor in the room shook next to Nagato. A porcelain jar on the table was shaken off. Nagato slowly opened his mouth, but Fuzo covered it. This desperate scene made everyone in the ninja world feel suffocated. Ninja world hell. Sometimes, I really can't blame others for wanting to destroy the world. Because this hopeless world has already been rotten to the core. Damn it. The ninja world war not only brought suffering to the ninjas, but also to innocent civilians like us. As long as the Ninja World War continues, tragedies like this will continue to happen. Sometimes, I really want to destroy all ninjas. Only in this way can civilians live in peace. Fire Nation Muay Village Saratobi heroes and watch the screen as eyes rush towards two ninjas wearing Konoha forward protectors, trying to buy time for his wife and children to escape, and he fails. Silent Mizuto Meniant slammed the table angrily. Such a scum actually appeared in the village. He actually went to the homes of civilians to plunder food. And he even attacked the civilians? What a bastard. Shikoku pursed his lips. It was a battlefield at the time, and the civilians in the residential area had already evacuated, so there were basically no civilians in the residential area. Chapter 239. Your name is so strange. In fact, Lu Jiayu was also in the wrong for saying this. After all, Konoha, Sand Village, and Iwagakure are the invaders, but the only one to blame is the Rain Country's own leader, Hanzo of the Salamander. If he had not wanted to expand his territory and declare war on the three major countries at the same time, and actively provoke the Ninja World War, the Rain Country would not have become a battlefield where the three major countries fought each other. It just makes life hard for the common people in the Rain Country. On screen, when I saw the Konoha ninja stabbing the Kyune into Fuzo's heart, his eyes were bloodshot, but there was nothing he could do. Run, Nagato. Run. Quickly, but just as he finished speaking, he was stabbed in the heart by a Kyune from the Konoha ninja. The Konoha ninja walked up to the tearful Nagato and looked him over carefully. Is this a little kid? The ninja who killed eyes looked at the corpse on the ground, his tone full of annoyance. How could this happen? They are not ninjas at all. What should I do? Why did this happen? I misjudged the enemy. Damn it. At this moment, a dazzling flash of lightning illuminated the scene in the room, and the Konoha forward protector on the ninja's forehead was exceptionally clear. The Konoha ninja bent down, immediately filled with guilt. He said to Nagato slowly, I didn't expect that there would be ordinary civilians in such a battle area. Sorry, kid. Ninja World, what's the point of apologizing? The person is already dead. When war breaks out, there are countless incidents involving civilians. I never imagined that if the war between big countries like you had not affected small countries, how could the civilians of small countries leave their homes and beg outside in order to avoid being affected by the war? Nagato's father suddenly rushed over, so he was mistaken for an enemy by the Konoha ninja. It feels very wrong. The power of ninjas is so different from that of ordinary people. How could they not find out that Nagato's parents are not ninjas? I suspect that these two Konoha ninjas have been under an illusion. On screen, after Nagato took a few sharp breaths, his eyes suddenly widened. Screen turned when Nagato woke up again. It was already daybreak. What happened? Dad, Mom. When he turned around, he saw the bodies of his parents. Memories to this point. Ninja World. Alice. Having lost his parents at such a young age, how is he supposed to survive in an environment like the Rain Country? Putting myself in his shoes, I, an adult, feel lost. Although he has the Rinnegan, Nagato has no idea how to use it. On screen, Nagato said to Naruto, my parents died in the war you started in Konoha. I have never forgotten the pain at that time, and the pain continues until now. This pain turned into hatred, which made my power blossom. I was the one who killed the two ninjas at that time, and I realized it later. Naruto lowered his head and said nothing. With little food left, I left home alone, in memory wearing a raincoat. Nagato built a grave for his parents and stood in front of the grave for a long time. Goodbye, Dad, Mom. Screen turned. Nagato took shelter under a rock. He looked at the small piece of bread in his hand. Is this the last one? After eating the bread, he continued on his staggering journey. When he walked onto a bridge, he fell into the water with a splash. I'm so hungry that I can't even walk. Nagato slowly closed his eyes. A little yellow dog ran up to him and licked his face. Nagato sat up suddenly and coughed violently several times. He patted the little yellow dog's head. Thank you. If you hadn't woken me up, I might have died. Screen turned. The rain is still falling under the rock. The little yellow dog whimpered. Nagato hugged it and said guiltily, I'm sorry. Even if you follow me, I have nothing to give you. I don't have any food anymore. Screen turned. Nagato knocked on the door with his hand. Excuse me, can you give me some food? At this point, the door opened, revealing the face of a middle-aged man. I haven't eaten anything for a long time, the middle-aged man said. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to give you. In this world, I can't take care of myself. Sorry, please ask somewhere else. After saying that, he closed the door. Nagato was obviously a little disappointed. He said weakly, this is obviously the last one. Ninja World, I really want to help him, even though he might become a bad guy in the future. This child is so pitiful. Nagato is kind-hearted, otherwise he would have eaten the puppy. He would have survived by doing so. I guess there is a chance that he and Naruto can become friends, Alice. The middle-aged man's behavior was not selfish. In this world, we can't take care of ourselves, even if he gave Nagato food this time. In his eyes, in this world, a child without a father or a mother can't survive. And he was afraid that Nagato would come to him for food again in the future if he saw that he was easy to talk to. On screen Nagato looked at the bread inside the house through the window and staggered. Let's go. At last on a hillside, Nagato could no longer hold on and fell down. It's no use anymore. Am I going to die here? Just as his eyelids were about to close, a piece of bread was handed to him. Zion, holding an umbrella, said, "Eat this." Nagato swallowed. May I? Screen turned just as Nagato was about to eat the bread in his hand. He heard the whimpering of the little yellow dog. He broke the bread in his hand in two and placed one half on the ground. Hey. Eat slowly. Zion just smiled. Ninja World. A child with this kind of character cannot survive alone in such a harsh environment. I thought he would steal bread, but he would rather starve to death than steal. Luckily there is rich lady Zion. Konan is so cute when she smiles. Konan is indeed a beautiful and kind-hearted rich lady. When Nagato just left home, there was only 1/3 of the bread left, but Konan gave Nagato a whole loaf of bread. Nagato has met a rich woman. Things are starting to get better. At least eating shouldn't be a problem. On screen turns Zion. What are those guys? Konan looked at Yohiko apologetically. Sorry, I think he's almost dead. Yohiko walked over and said, "You even picked up the dog?" Really? Yohiko walked up to Nagato and asked directly, "What's your name?" Nagato replied, "Tiny One." Yohiko was stunned. "Your name is really strange." "No. That's the dog's name." Memories to this point. Ninja World. It turns out that Yohiko and Konan have known each other for a long time. Are they brother and sister? Sorry, the atmosphere was quite depressing, but I couldn't help laughing at the words. He even picked up the dog, and Yohiko thought Nagato was called a brat. Looking at the environment, Yohiko and Konan aren't rich. They were already poor, and because they even picked up a dog, it made things even worse for them. Chapter 240. Yohiko and number 039, S-Stream. They knew each other when they were so young, and they met under such circumstances. After so many years of friendship, they have long been the most important people to each other. If Yohiko died of unnatural reasons, it would not be surprising that Nagato and Konan became extreme in their thinking. Yohiko and Konan were Nagato's last relatives. But all three of them ended up in tragedy. I really want to pick up this dirty little rich girl and take her home to raise her. On screen. End of memories. Nagato said to Naruto, "At that time, I met Konan, who is here now, and a boy named Yohiko. They were both war orphans. They both wanted to survive strongly, and I became their companion." In memory. Nagato came to the place where the two stored the food and couldn't help but exclaimed, "Wow! There are so many foods." Yohiko said to him, "If you want to stay here, you should also go get some food, get something to eat." How to do it? Yohiko said as a matter of course, "Go steal." But isn't this a bad thing? Yohiko was so disappointed that he taught her, "You are stupid. In this world, we have to find ways to fill our stomachs. We can't say these high-sounding words." Nagato murmured softly, "High-sounding words, whether it's stealing or some other method, if you don't do it, you can't survive. Do you understand?" Nagato nodded, "Yes. I understand." Ninja World. Yohiko is still more realistic. Haha, I feel that Naruto and Yohiko have many similarities, but also have big differences. In comparison, I like Naruto and admire Yohiko, even at such a young age. I can see the qualities of a leader in Yohiko. If you were allowed to live, I feel like the ninja world would be different now. It's obvious that when they grow up, no matter how strong Nagato is, they will have to listen to Yohiko. It's a good thing Nagato met Yohiko. If it was someone else, Nagato wouldn't have survived. As soon as Yohiko appeared, many people started discussing him. Maybe it's because he has a strong affinity, so even when he said words like steal, no one felt that he was a bad kid. Rain Country. Naruto looked at Konan and Pain, who were in a trance when they were children. They had a harder life than he did. At least he hadn't fallen to the point of having to steal to fill his stomach. On screen. Market. Nagato and Konan clasped their hands together and looked pitifully at the stall owner in front of them. "Can you give us some? Just a little bit, please," the stall owner said in a nasty tone. "Where can I get any fish for you?" "Get out of here." Behind the stall owner, Yohiko popped up and took away a big fish. "What? You're so stingy?" Hearing Zion's words, the stall owner angrily said, "What did you say? You little brat." Screen turned from stall. The little one opened his mouth, bit an apple and ran away. Hey! This damn wild dog! The stall owner chased after him. Behind him, Yohiko, Nagato, and Konan appeared carrying sacks in a small alley. Yohiko held an apple and said with a smile, "Good job, little one." Screen turned watermelon stall. Hey! If you don't want to buy it, leave now. Yohiko picked up a watermelon and tried to leave, but his head hit someone's knee. He raised his head and saw a man who looked 90% similar to the stall owner, standing with his arms folded, looking down at him condescendingly. Screen turned. The three little figures fell heavily into the garbage dump. Bastard thing, if you do it again next time, I won't let you off easily. Ninja World. Although stealing is wrong, this is the only way for the orphans of the Rain Country to survive. Small countries, especially countries like the Rain Country, don't have orphanages like those big countries that can rescue some orphans. Therefore, the fate of most orphans in the Rain Country is death. If they want to survive, they have no choice but to steal. Yohiko and Konan work so well together. You can imagine how many times they have been beaten before. On screen. Are you both okay? Okay, this happens sometimes. Yes. Nagato, what is your dream? Dream? Yohiko turned his head. I won't die in a place like this. I have a big dream. At this point, Yohiko clenched his fists. To conquer the world. Conquer the world. Yes. If I could stand at the top of the world, I wouldn't have to live such a hard life, right? And if I just died like this, how could I be worthy of my parents who gave birth to me? Right? Zianan smiled and nodded. Yes, standing on top of the world, you can do whatever you want. Nagato said, isn't that the same as God? Can it also eliminate war? At this moment, a Qiu Li with an explosive tag tied to it fell from the sky and exploded in front of the three people. Boom! The three figures were directly blown away by the aftermath and fell heavily to the ground. Ninja World, if you were still alive, I feel like he might actually be able to do it. It looks like there are people fighting near them, as expected. Once a war breaks out, no place will be safe. There are even detonating talismans falling from the sky. On screen, Yohiko's arms trembled, and he struggled to stand up and asked, "Are you okay?" Zianan, who was still lying on the ground, uttered hum. Boom! Another detonating talisman exploded around the three people. Damn it! What? Boom boom boom! Fortunately, the explosion was far enough away and did not affect them. Yohiko bravely climbed up the hillside. Looking down, I saw a huge salamander and 4 people. Ninjas are fighting so close to each other? And they are hands-on Konoha ninjas. Memories to this point, Nagato said to Naruto. The ones fighting there are Jiraiya and his ninjas, who are later known as the 3 ninjas of Konoha. Their opponents are Hanzo, the leader of a Megacure. The battle was extremely fierce, and then, in memory Tiny, the little one is. Nagato held the little yellow dog in his arms, and his tone was as if he was about to cry at any time. Yohiko, what should I do? The little one is not breathing. Little one, don't worry about it, just leave here quickly. Screen turn. Nagato trembled all over as he hugged the little yellow dog tightly, tears silently flowing down his face. Little one, Yohiko punched the tree again and again. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it, what is this? In this world of constant war, I want to become the god of the world, Ninja World. If I hadn't known in advance that Naruto would be the savior and that Yohiko in the future would die, I would have even thought that Yohiko was the savior. If Yohiko were alive and had taken the wrong path instead of becoming the savior, I feel like he would have become the most difficult villain for the savior to deal with in the future. This is it, right? The 3 of them became Jiraiya's apprentices. Chapter 241 Apprenticeship to Jiraiya. On screen turn. Nagato and Konan placed the little one on a white cloth. Nagato, how long are you going to cry? If you keep crying whenever you're hurt, nothing will change. Just like this country, I want to change this country. And I don't just want to talk about it. I need power, Nagato asked in confusion. You mean, strength? Yohiko said, I want to learn ninjutsu. Ninjutsu? Who should I learn from? Learn from the Konoha ninja who fought Hanzo. Yohiko walked over to the 2 men and sat down, saying to them, I went to the place just now, but I didn't find their bodies there. They fought with Hanzo and still survived, so they must be terrifyingly strong. But, Nagato recalled the scene where his parents were killed by Konoha ninja. When Nagato was silent, Yohiko clenched his fists tightly and said firmly, I hate Hanzo. It was him who turned Yugakure into such a battlefield. Anyway, I want to become a disciple of a strong man, and I want to chase those people. Zianan looked up at him and asked, even if we catch up, what if they are killed? Yohiko smiled and said, then go find someone to kill them. Anyway, I have made up my mind. Screen turn. The three of them packed their luggage as long as the food can be preserved for a long time. After hearing what Yahiko said, Conan asked, do we have to throw away everything else? No. Screen turn. Hearing the knock on the door, the fish stall owner at the market opened the door. Seeing these three people, he asked, what's wrong with you? Yahiko said to him, I'll give this to you, uncle from the vegetable store and aunt from the fruit store. In a sense, I've received a lot of care from you guys. Goodbye, take care. Zianan, who was walking at the back, looked apologetic. Sorry. With that, she followed Yahiko and Nagato. Screen turned. The three of them, wearing worn-out gas masks, set out on a journey to find the three ninjas of Konoha. Yahiko, who was walking in front, warned the two people, don't take off your masks. If there is poison mixed in the mist, you will die in an instant. As soon as they finished speaking, the three of them found a dead body. Are you okay? Nagato said as he was about to step forward. Stop. Yahiko grabbed his shoulder, picked up a small stone and threw it over. Boom, it's a disguised trap. Yahiko looked at the kunai at his feet and bent down to pick it up. That night, in a cave taking shelter from the rain, the kunai spun in circles in Yahiko's hand, and then he grasped it and posed. How is it? Pretty cool, right? The two couldn't help laughing. Yahiko's firm voice was heard again in the cave. We will definitely become stronger. Ninja World. Before leaving, will you give those three vendors the food that cannot be preserved for a long time? As expected, Yahiko is still reliable. It feels like Yahiko is taking care of his younger brother and sister. On screen the next day, ninjas will not leave any traces of themselves, and it is not so easy to find the three ninjas of Konoha. But Yahiko did not give up. The three of them went deeper into the battlefield in search of the Sannin. After searching for an unknown amount of time, the three of them were resting on the edge of the cliff when Nagato whispered, it feels like the explosion has stopped. Yahiko was startled and turned to look towards the forest where a figure flashed by. He stood up quickly. It's terrible here. At this moment, the sound of breaking air was heard, and countless shurikens fell from the sky. Boom, 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 boom. Dense explosion swept towards the three people. Seeing this, Nagato stood in front of the two without thinking. At the same time, the power of the Rinnegan exploded, forming a circle of light shield that protected three people including himself. But the cliff under their feet broke into several pieces, and the three of them fell down together. Screen turn. Conan gently pushed the unconscious Yahiko. Yahiko. Her tone was filled with worry. Yahiko slowly opened his eyes. Here it is, Nagato whispered. We found them. Yahiko's eyes widened instantly. Memories. To this point Nagato's voice came. Fate has brought us to the three ninjas of Konoha. We finally found Teacher Jiraiya. Opposite him Naruto clenched his fists, tears glistening in his eyes. But, I still can't accept Konoha ninja. You should also understand this. Naruto dropped his head in memory. Yahiko said to the three people in front of him, please teach us some ninjutsu. Are you Konoha ninjas? Zianan held a paper flower in her palm in front of the three people. Orochimaru slowly said, I want to kill these children. Seeing Yahiko on the defensive, he continued, I have seen many war orphans, all of them are miserable. It would be better for these children to just kill them here. Stop. Orochimaru. Jiraiya looked at Orochimaru with a serious face and said, you and Tsunade go back first, I will take care of these children for a while. It can be regarded as redemption of some sins. Ninja World. While this is fate's arrangement, it's not wrong to say that Nagato, who possesses the Rinnegan, is the savior, but Nagato has taken the wrong path. It's all fate, turning this originally kind-hearted child into an enemy that causes headaches for the five major nations. Perhaps, Orochimaru is right. In this way, Jiraiya would not have died at the hands of his own apprentice, and there would not have been a powerful Akatsuki organization whose purpose was to collect tailed beasts in the ninja world. On screen turn. The four masters and apprentices sat around the dinner table. I'm starting. Use the fire escape technique to kill it in one go. Yahiko said, Teacher, I have learned the trick of fishing. Is that so? You are becoming more and more reliable. Recall this. Nagato's voice came. It was Konoha ninjas who killed my parents. But Jiraiya-sensei felt a little different. And so, the lives of the four of us began. But not long after that incident happened, Naruto asked in confusion, incident, when the remnant of the ninja attacked us and Yahiko was about to be killed, I killed the ninja. And, it was unintentional. It seemed that I had some special power. That was the pupil technique of the Rinnegan. After that incident, Jiraiya, who originally had no intention of teaching us ninjutsu, also started teaching us ninjutsu. Although the teacher said that ninjutsu is for self-protection, to me, it seems to be for me to control the power of the Rinnegan, but I was afraid of my own power. Hatred made me lose control. I thought I had done something wrong and was constantly blamed by guilt. However, The teacher saved me in that situation in memory. Jiraiya sat next to Nagato, patted his shoulder and asked, "Is it because of the previous incident?" Nagato silently shed tears. "At that time, when Yahiko was injured, I hated him so much that my mind went blank and I forgot everything. When I came to my senses, he had already fallen." Jiraiya's face was solemn, and the scene of seeing Nagato reveal his eyes flashed through his mind. It was because he saw Nagato's eyes that he decided to teach the three of them ninjutsu. Chapter 242, Separation After 3 years. Nagato's tone was full of pain and self-blame. "After that, I felt very scared. Out of hatred, I forgot myself and gave the enemy. Actually, what I did was wrong. In fact, there is a better way, Nagato." Seeing Nagato looking at him, Jiraiya said, "Whether that was right or wrong, I don't know. But, thanks to you, Yahiko was saved from death, and you protected your friend. You should have done the right thing, and no one will blame you." The tears in Nagato's eyes stopped flowing and he stared at Jiraiya blankly. "If you are hurt, you will remember the hatred. If you hurt others, you will be resented and blamed with guilt." Nagato seemed to have realized something. "I just want to protect two people, no matter how painful it will be." Nagato hugged his knees and asked, "Teacher, what have you been thinking about?" "This world is full of wars and hatred. I want to change this situation. I also want to know what pieces, memories to this point," Nagato said to Naruto. "When I noticed it, I had already recognized the teacher. However, it is precisely because I know this kind of pain that I can treat others gently. It is because people know pain that they grow up. And the so-called growth is to think about what to do, know the pain, think, and how to get the answer." Teacher Jiraiya seemed to be talking to himself. He also didn't find the answer. "Just like you now, I found the answer very quickly at that time. Ninja world, that answer is what he said before, that he wanted to protect Konan and Yahiko no matter how much pain he had to endure. Right, if Yahiko hadn't died, maybe the three of them would have become very good senior brothers and sisters to Naruto. If Yahiko was here, how could he let Nagato and Konan kill Jiraiya? He was the one who taught them ninjutsu and changed their fate. It's all because of those damn Danzo and Hanzo. If it weren't for them, there wouldn't be so many tragedies in the ninja world." On screen Nagato narrated slowly, 3 years have passed since then. I feel that through practice, my body and mind have grown. However, the teacher's words have always been in the deepest part of my heart. The answer the teacher gave me is placed in my samsara eye. He entrusted peace to me, and then the teacher disappeared from our side in memory. Jiraiya said to Nagato, "A long time ago, people often fought and wars were constant. It was an era more tragic than the present. In that era, a monk appeared and explained the truth of chakra for the first time, hoping to lead the world to peace. It is said that he spread the ninja sect and traveled around the world to preach. As time passed, the name ninjutsu replaced the ninja sect. Ninjutsu does not only refer to force, but also to the teachings that lead people to peace. That monk, known as the Sage of Six Paths, can be said to be the savior of this world. He has the Rinnegan just like you. I am the one who maintains peace and order." The immortal seemed to have said this. The time will come when people can truly understand each other. Is this what he firmly believes? Perhaps, you are the reincarnation of an immortal. I think your eyes hold the immortal's wishes. I have received a revelation from a certain immortal that my disciple will bring great changes to the ninja world. I am the one who guides that change, and I believe that person is you. At the same time, I also believe in you." As he spoke, Jiraiya placed his palm on Nagato's head with a smile on his face. After being stunned for a moment, Nagato grinned. Screen turned. Jiraiya had just put some ramen into his mouth when Nagato pushed the door and walked in. Teacher Jiraiya hadn't swallowed the ramen in his mouth yet, and asked with puffy cheeks, "What's wrong? Do you have time now?" Jiraiya swallowed the ramen. I want to write a book, but I can't think of any good ideas. I'd better fill my stomach first, so I'm resting now." Ninja World is the book Jiraiya wants to create a makeout paradise. Could it be that Intimate Heaven got inspiration at this time? But where did he get the inspiration at this time? How strange. When I think of Jiraiya, one of Konoha's 3 ninjas, I can imagine Naruto crying and making out in heaven. On screen Jiraiya took another sip of ramen and asked Nagato why he came to see him. Nagato said, "Regarding what the teacher said before, about the hatred in this world, I have also thought about it myself." "Oh. Did you come up with a good idea?" Nagato turned his back to Jiraiya, looked at the drizzle outside the door and said, "Peace. I don't know the way to peace yet. But one day I will break this curse." At this point, Nagato turned back to look at Jiraiya. "If peace really exists, I will hold on to it tightly. More important than the method is the power of belief, is that so? That's a great idea, it could be true. It seems that thanks to you, I can write a good book. Well, in that case, we need to decide on the name of the protagonist first. After saying that, he looked at the ramen in his bowl and the side dishes on its screen. Jiraiya looked at the three children in front of him with a relieved smile on his face. Now I can go back to the village with peace of mind. From now on, it's up to you guys. The three of them had tears in their eyes and looked at Jiraiya reluctantly. You have worked hard in the past 3 years. Oh, don't cry, Yuriko. You will be considered a coward. Zainin, you will become a beauty. We will see each other when you grow up. This country is very poor, and there will be many painful things in the future, but, at this point, Jiraiya turned around and said, this time, we have to rely on your power to change this country. Nagato, you have grown up. Right, Nagato said softly. Thank you, teacher. Screen turned. The three of them were on their way back. Konan looked at Yuriko and asked, how long are you going to cry? Yuriko. We can meet again, Yuriko sobbed. Teacher. After returning home, Nagato opened the door and found the book Jiraiya had left there. He walked over, picked up the book that inspired his creation, the story of strong and perseverant ninja, and started reading it. Ninja World. I never thought that the one who cried the most when Jiraiya left was always the strongest. Yuriko, the Perseverance Ninja Legend? I've read this book, and the protagonist's name is Naruto, on screen in a jungle. You should have given up. You've had enough of hide and seek, behind a tree. Nagato gasped heavily, then threw the smoke bomb in his hand at the ninja in a thick fog. There were a few ding-ding sounds, accompanied by sparks flying everywhere. Nagato leaned on the tree trunk with both hands, and the ninja pointed at him with a kunai. Give up. At this moment, Nagato asked, can I say something? But just as he finished speaking, Nagato was stabbed by the ninja's kunai. Chapter 243. The Dawn of Changing the World. I don't want to hear it. Go to hell, just give up. The idea of letting me give up. The ninja was shocked. The Nagato in front of him disappeared with a bang and turned into a cloud of smoke. Nagato slapped the ninja on the back of the neck with a palm blade, knocking him down. The ninja climbed up the tree trunk, turned his head and looked at Nagato and said, even if you defeat me, there will be another assassin to attack the village. As long as we live in this cursed ninja world, there will be no peace. Nagato said to him firmly, I will break this curse. If there is peace, I will hold on to it. I will not give up. You bastard. Nagato stretched out his hand to him. My name is Nagato, Ninja World. Oh. What a good kid. Damn Danzo and Hanzo, there are no ifs in this world, but now that we have live streaming, I believe many tragedies can be avoided. On screen just when the Omega Cure Ninja was about to attack a village, Yuriko and two other people blocked the Omega Cure Ninja's way. Who is coming? Yuriko said, the bodyguards of this village. I warn you to leave the village immediately, the leading ninja said, kill them. Yuriko made a seal water style, water waves, paper pieces flew around Konan as she blocked the incoming shurikens. Nagato clasped his hands together wind style, fierce wind palm. After a fight, the leading ninja and several of his men were gasping for breath. Damn it. I can't get close to you. One of the ninjas raised his sword and prepared to chop at Konan, but was surrounded by paper Zion and said to him, if you move, you will be stabbed to death. I won't let you set foot in this village, so give up. The leader of the Rain Ninja on the opposite side asked, are you Hanzo's subordinates? Yuriko said, although I wear it for a protector, I don't work under him. But we also hope that one day, we can lead the world to peace like Hanzo did. To put it bluntly, it's just copying. Hearing this, Yuriko retorted, I am not copying others. I want to bring peace to this village. I am not resorting to violence, but to communication and dialogue. Communication and dialogue? This village is located between two major countries. As long as they don't stop fighting, the war will never end. The strong prey on the weak. This is the common sense of the world. Yuriko said to them, we are fighting to change this kind of thinking. I believe you also want to see true peace. As he spoke, Yuriko took out 3 straws. Listen carefully, a single straw can easily break, but when 3 are put together, it becomes very. At this point, the 3 straws fell at different angles. Yuriko threw the straw away in frustration. If there were more, at least we could make a stronger rope. Nagato, Yuriko, Zion. The speech was terrible. Yuriko blushed slightly and put his fist to his mouth awkwardly. In short, we don't plan to kill you. Let's go. Ninja World. Jiraiya must have made a mistake. Yohiko is actually more like the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths than Nagato who possesses the Rinnegan. Yohiko is so funny, and Conan's complaints, haha, yeah, yes, the speech was really bad, so bad that I wanted to join them and use communication and negotiation with them to bring peace to the ninja world. The speech was average, but Yohiko's words were very contagious. It's a very strange feeling. As long as Nagato is not next to Yohiko, I feel that Nagato is very powerful, very strong, and very impressive. But as long as he stands next to Yohiko, I feel that although he is more powerful, Yohiko is the one who has the final say. The three of them are special at this moment. So special that it is difficult to find people who share the same ideals as them in the entire ninja world. On screen the leading ninja said, "We can't guarantee that we won't attack again." Yohiko raised his lips. "Before you give up the fight and choose to talk, whether it is dozens or hundreds of times, we are happy to accompany you." As he said this, he pointed the knife in his hand at the other party. "Just be prepared to suffer more next time," the leading ninja said. "Retreat." Yohiko looked at the leader walking at the end and said, "You took the child into consideration and didn't do anything just now, right?" "Thank you." The lead ninja stopped. Yohiko continued, "We are also war orphans." Screen turn. An old man brought a cup of tea to the three people. "You guys are really nosy. You suddenly appeared and said you want to protect this place. We are here to change this village," the old man said. "War will not disappear from this village. Nothing can be changed." At this time, Nagato looked out the window and said, "Yohiko, it seems that some things can still be changed." Outside the window, there were three ninjas standing, one of whom was the leader this morning. The three of them walked out. The leading ninja said to Yohiko, "We all thought Hanzo was too gentle, so we fled from the village. But now, we are tired of this worldly life. Looking into your eyes, I think we can start over. Having said that, we don't plan to go back to Hanzo, so let us be your subordinates." Yohiko didn't even think about it and said decisively, "No." The leading ninja was stunned. "What, didn't you just say?" Yohiko continued, "They are not subordinates, but companions." The three people on the opposite side were a little surprised. "My name is Yohiko, this is Nagato and Conan, I am Kyusuke of Skanda. If you need any information, just give it to me," Yohiko said solemnly. "Then I ask you to find a village in Yugakure that is suffering the same torture." Screen turned. Several people were running on the water. Nagato said, "Yohiko, what's up? Give us a name? As we have more people, we will need it sooner or later." "A name." Yohiko looked at the dawn ahead. Then, "Zio. This country has been devastated by war and has been crying, so we must become the dawn that changes this country. No. Change the world," Nagato murmured. "Akatsuki." Zion praised, "What a good name." Jirosuke said, "Akatsuki is established. Ninja world." The name Zio, so this is what it means. It's very meaningful. The dawn that changes the world. As long as Yohiko is given enough time, he can definitely change the Hidden Rain village. It's a pity that he doesn't have the same destiny and strength as Naruto. Nagato does have them, but he doesn't have the same faith as Yohiko. Once Yohiko died, he went to extremes instead of continuing along Yohiko's path. What a pity. It took so long for an organization like this to appear in the ninja world. At this time, many people dragged out Danzo and Hanzo and whipped their corpses. Damn Danzo and Hanzo. If it weren't for them, Akatsuki would definitely be the most useful organization to the ninja world. The demigod of the ninja world, Hanzo, is getting more and more confused as he gets older. He believed everything Danzo instigated him to do, which is totally unlike what a leader should be. In the eyes of the people of Rain Country, they live in the gap between two great powers. If they do not expand their territory, when a war breaks out in the future, it will still affect Rain Country. Hanzo is taking precautions and is considered a hero in the eyes of many people. It's a pity that Hanzo overestimates his own capabilities and actually declares war on the surrounding countries at the same time. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 244 Love Letter. On screen turned inside the Akatsuki base. Yohiko looked at his companions below. It feels like it has grown in the blink of an eye. Akatsuki, Nagato beside him said, it was Yohiko's dream that resonated with everyone. In fact, everyone has long been tired of war, Yohiko said, as long as everyone unites as one, peace will come soon. By the way, where is Conan? I just went out, Yahiko asked. What are you going to do? Unclear. Just then, a paper butterfly flew to their fetuses. Zion and Yahiko picked up the paper butterfly and opened it. Dear Lord Conan. From the first time I saw you, this is love letter. Yahiko continued reading. Please tell me your answer. I'll be waiting for you on the back terrace. Hatasuke. Yahiko looked nervous. Could it be that Conan really went to find him? Unclear. After that, Nagato found a reason for him. Yahiko, don't you have something to do? Yahiko was stunned for a moment, then reacted. Right. I forgot, I'm going to the bathroom. Haha. I can't hold it anymore. Looking at Yahiko's hurried back, Nagato showed a smile on his face. Screen turn under the terrace. Yahiko hid behind the wall, gritting his teeth at grandson. Ninja World. Ha. He's panicking. This nervous little expression. I can see that Yahiko likes Conan too. What about Conan? I think she likes Yahiko too. Hatasuke's tiredness of war is fake, and falling in love with Conan at first sight is the real reason why he joined Akatsuki. Right, I also fell in love with a rich lady Zion at first sight. It doesn't matter whether she is rich or not. I just like this person. That dirty little girl has now grown into a beautiful girl. It's abnormal that no one likes her. Rain Country. Conan was amused by Yahiko's words. This grandson, the corner of Tendo Paine's mouth also curled up. Zion hasn't laughed for a long time. The last time he laughed was when Yahiko was alive on screen. She's quite fast, and her moves are also quite fast. More companions mean more rivals. At this moment, Nagato's voice came from behind Yahiko. That's true. Yahiko was startled and turned around. Hey, Nagato? Nagato asked, does Yahiko like Conan? Stupid, that's not the case, but I think Conan likes Yahiko. Yahiko was stunned, and then he saw Hatasuke bowed to Conan and left. He's gone. Conan suddenly said, over there, right? Yahiko, Nagato. The two of them quickly hid behind the wall. Yahiko leaned against the wall with a nervous look on his face and asked, Conan, how did you answer? Zion said, I told him that before the dream of Zio comes true, there is no time for us to fall in love. Is that right, Conan? Conan's body turned into a piece of paper. Yahiko, practice with me for a while, watching the paper butterflies flying by. This trick doesn't work when it rains, but then he was slapped in the face. Yahiko waved his kune and cut the paper butterflies into pieces. Oil paper, it seems you have considered it. It took a little effort. If you dawdle, be careful not to be left behind by me. Ninja World. That's an excuse. You just don't like it, right? If it was Yahiko who confessed, Conan might have agreed. On screen in the base, brother, there are so many commissions. Can we complete them all? Hatasuke handed a note to Nagato. We have to do it. Helping all those in need is our mission. Yahiko came over, took the note from Nagato's hand and began to read it. Hatasuke looked at the note in his hand and said, at this point, I really want an organization of Hanzo's size. After all, Hanzo is our role model. He has been fighting to bring peace to the world. One day, our Akatsuki will become an organization as famous as Hanzo. Screen turn Rain Country. Hanzo looked at the ninja who reported to him. Duan. Yes. Rumors about them can be heard everywhere recently, Hanzo said. Oh. There are such ninjas in the village? I welcome forces that are committed to solving problems in a peaceful way. This will also bring me one step closer to my dream of peacefully uniting the 5 major countries. But these people appeared so suddenly. I'm afraid there is someone behind them, the ninja said. I heard that they are disciples of Jiraiya from Konoha village. Jiraiya, one of Konoha's 3 ninjas. Yes, after Jiraiya fought with Hanzo-sama, he stayed here for 3 years to teach the war orphans ninjutsu. Hanzo smiled and said, is he the boy's former apprentice? Showing mercy will not only benefit others, but perhaps Akatsuki is here to repay his kindness. Ninja World. In Hanzo's eyes, he showed mercy to the Sannin, and the Akatsuki leader, who is the apprentice of one of the Sannin, came to repay his kindness. In other words, Hanzo is actually very optimistic about the Akatsuki organization now. That guy Danzo is truly a heinous criminal. It's also possible that Akatsuki was a real threat to Hanzo at that time. If I were in Hanzo's position, I would also be suspicious. Danzo's instigation only planted a rapidly growing seed of doubt in Hanzo's heart. On screen, Zio organization. Hatasuke walked in and said to Yahiko, Brother Yahiko, it seems that many villages near the border of the ninja village have been attacked recently. Yahiko asked solemnly, what's going on? These are places with little information, so I don't know the exact situation, but it seems that the area bordering the land of Earth is the most serious. The 7th area? Do you want to go take a look? Konan, Nagato, Zion stood up and said, "Okay, Kausuke, great Buddha. I'll leave it to you to look after the house, clear, leave it to me, big brother, ninja world you treat him as your big brother, and you want to chase your sister-in-law." The Rain Country at that time was the most chaotic and miserable country in the entire ninja world. Both are surviving in the cracks between big countries, but the Grass Country is more capable than the Rain Country. The Rain Country is more miserable than the Grass Country in that they have a powerful demigod, Hanzo. If there were no Hanzo, the Rain Country would probably just be a slippery fence sitter. On screen turn. The three of them looked at the ruined village around them. It's too awful. Who did this? It seems that the scale of the incident is much larger than what we have dealt with in the past. At this moment, a wooden board at the back fell over. Yohiko still had anger on his face, and he turned around and shouted, "Who are you? Get out." Several ninjas holding knives walked out from behind the ruined house. The leader asked, "Who are you guys?" Several ninjas were stunned. Akatsuki, Yohiko asked, "It seems that you are ninjas from Omega Cure? We are an organization that aims to bring peace to this village. We heard that this area was attacked, so we came here to investigate." "Who did this? Are you here to investigate?" the leading ninja said. "It's Iwagakure." Chapter 245 Against the Heavens. See this scene. Yunoki's face darkened. How could such a scum appear in the village? It was also announced live. Now the whole ninja world knows that Iwagakure has nothing to do with Omegacure. No. Impossible. There won't be such a ninja in the village. Cloud hid in the fourth Raikage gloated. Ninja world, Iwagakure is such a beast. The Konoha ninja was killed by mistake. What about the Iwagakure attack on the civilian village of Rain Country? Don't the Iwagakure ninjas have any bottom line at all? On screen, Iwagakure, Nagato said to Yohiko, "I heard that Iwagakure is negotiating a ceasefire with Konoha." The leader said angrily, "Who cares about that shit? Look at this village. Villages in this area have been attacked by Iwagakure one after another." Yohiko asked, "What are you going to do with your weapons? Do you still need to ask? Fight. We have already formed a guerrilla force." "Wait a minute, this will only escalate the war, so what do you think we should do? Is it right to just sit there and wait for death without caring about anything?" Yohiko said in a deep voice, "Let's go to Iwagakure to negotiate." The ninja on the opposite side was stunned. "What did you say?" "As long as they understand your pain and both sides talk it out, they will definitely understand." Such nice words. "Then, what should we do about the hatred of the victims?" Yohiko's eyes darkened slightly, recalling the masked man I met earlier in memory. Yohiko said to the masked man, "Only by understanding the pain of others and making the perpetrators shed the same tears can we get closer to the real world." The masked man said, "Shedding the same tears, to put it bluntly, is this revenge?" "No, that's not the case. I mean mutual understanding," the masked man said. "Stop daydreaming. Such things don't exist in this world. Ninja world having the same pain, we can really understand each other." Masked man Madara? Has he started to contact Akatsuki with a purpose at this time? Could Yohiko's death have anything to do with him? Let the perpetrators shed the same tears and reach mutual understanding. What Yohiko is talking about is revenge. On screen, end of memories. Yohiko and the other two were on their way. What is going on? If this happens, the peace between Konoha and Iwagakure will be over, Nagato said. Perhaps there is a disagreement within Iwagakure. The leader wants to stop the war, but the ninjas under him do not want this. It could also be done by a defecting ninja. Anyway, we need to go to Iwagakure and find out as soon as possible. Just as the three were on their way, there was a loud bang. Yohiko said loudly, "Disperse." What? Several Iwagakure ninjas appeared around the three of them. There are so many ambushes. Yohiko dodged the attacks of two Iwagakure ninjas. "Wait. Are you Iwagakure ninjas?" "We are Akatsuki ninjas from Rangakure, and we are here to negotiate with you." Seeing that the Iwagakure ninja continued to attack him regardless, Yohiko jumped into the air. "Damn it, are you just going to ignore all the answers?" Pieces of paper were flying around Konan, preventing the Iwagakure ninja from getting close to her. "What should we do, Yohiko? After all, our goal is to have a dialogue." "Don't kill people." Nagato used repulsion to push away the surrounding Iwagakure. Suddenly, Yohiko was startled. He had just said don't kill anyone, but for some reason, the kune in his hand pierced into the chest of the Iwagakure. Yohiko stared in amazement as the Iwagakure fell before him. "How so?" "Yohiko." Konan used her body to block the sneak attack from Iwagakure behind Yohiko. "Yohiko." Konan? Nagato recalled the time when Yohiko was almost killed when he was a child, and how his parents died at the hands of Konoha ninjas. He roared, and the power of the Rinnegan exploded behind him. the outer path golem emerged from the ground and slapped several Iwagakure away with one palm. Nagato, stop, Nagato, Yohiko hugged Nagato. Nagato. Stop now, Nagato, Yohiko, Nagato murmured and fainted. Ninja World, the outer path golem, I am shocked every time I see it. How could Yohiko kill that Iwagakure ninja? He definitely didn't do it on purpose. It's too much of a coincidence. It's like that ninja died at the hands of Yohiko on purpose. On screen, after Nagato fainted, the outer path demon statue made a bang and turned into a cloud of smoke and dissipated. Yohiko supported Xiaonin and said, let's retreat first. After the two left, Danzo appeared. Was that the power of the Samsara just now? What a terrifying power. 6 Iwagakure ninjas who had fallen to the ground climbed up, and with a bang, their transformation technique was lifted, turning them back into masked root ninjas. What should we do? Since the Akatsuki, have already been dispatched, other troops pretending to be ninjas from other countries will also be in danger, Danzo said. For the future of Konoha, we must not make peace with Iwagakure, so we made this action to obstruct the peace talks, but it actually brought out something unexpected. That guy's power may be able to be used. After that, he ordered, collect all the bodies here, and don't leave any traces related to our Konoha. Yes, after seeing this scene, the fourth Raikage of Kumagakure still had a smile on his face. That guy from Konoha has also gotten involved in this mess? No wonder in the previous video introducing Danzo, it was said that he tried to sow discord between Hanzo and Akatsuki after seeing the power of the Rinnegan. Unoki's brows relaxed. I said that there would be no such scum in the village. Those Iwagakure ninjas are all Danzo Zanbu. Their purpose is not to stop the war with Iwagakure. Sarutobi Hirozen's face began to darken. Muai village Hokage building. Lu Jiayu was a little speechless. Udatane Kahoru sighed. This Danzo is truly amazing. Sarutobi Hirozen rubbed his brows with a headache. It turns out that the beast who attacked the civilian village without any shame was Danzo of Konoha. On screen, Yohiko and Konan stood guard over Nagato's bed. Yohiko, that ninjutsu that Nagato just used, this is definitely a technique that only he who possesses the Rinnegan can perform. That is, yes, I felt it, just like then. A murderous aura that makes one tremble all over. That power does not belong to this world. I cannot let Nagato use it again. I am afraid that if he uses it, he will die. On screen, Konan went out to get some water, and when she returned to the house, she found that Nagato was not on the house, so she hurried out to look for him. Finally, at a small river, she saw Nagato. Konan, where's Yohiko? Xiaonin said to him, let's go find something to eat. Yeah, Xiaonin walked over and asked, what's wrong? I am afraid of my own power. Nagato hugged his knees. Last time, Teacher Jiraiya was here. I think the reason why he taught me ninjutsu is so that I could control this power. But now, Teacher Jiraiya is not here. Konan placed her hand on Nagato's. It is true that Jiraiya-sensei is not here now. However, you have us now. We will help you harness that power forever. Nagato's cheeks flushed and he held Konan's hand instead. Konan, behind a tree on the other side of the river, Yohiko was guarding his fishing rod, holding the back of his head with his hands in a daze. Chapter 246 IN number 039, am not the material to be a leader. Rain Country. After seeing this scene, Scorpio showed a little interest. Mr. Kikuzu, what a big melon. Biwajuzo stopped wiping the beheading sword. Naruto was a little messy, blushed and shook hands. Do you like it? Your relationship is so complicated. Pain, don't get me wrong, it's touching. Is that so? Pain didn't know whether to do so or not. What if not? The relationship between him and Konan Yohiko is like that of brothers. How could he possibly like his own brother? Xiaonin raised an eyebrow. Why, you are not afraid of us now? Naruto was successfully distracted and shook his head. I'm not afraid anymore, because I know that my big brother and big sister are not bad people. Pain said calmly, don't be disrespectful. We are not much younger than your father. Naruto scratched his head. So, uncle and aunt. Pain nodded slightly. You can call me teacher. Xiaonin, I feel that it is better to have no distinction between big and small on screen time advancement. Zio carried out more and more missions, and began to suffer casualties with a bandage on his forehead. Yohiko, standing on the tip of the statue's tongue, was looking up at the sky. Be careful. Yohiko came back to his senses and said to Konan behind him, you don't have to send me off. Go and heal Nagato. From now on, devote all your care to him. He is the core of Akatsuki, and in the future he will change this country and the world. Konan said, you are the same in this respect. People come together because they admire you, and Nagato is one of them. Yohiko closed his eyes. Nagato, he will be the bridge to peace. After that, he opened his eyes, and my mission is to become the pillar of the bridge. Yohiko opened his arms and looked at the sky. This country is still crying, it has been enduring pain. In the past, I hated this country that only knew how to shed tears, but now I feel from the bottom of my heart that I want to save it. At this point, he chuckled, because it's too much like Lemmy who used to cry. I can't just sit there and watch. Then he jumped off the tip of his tongue. Yohiko, be careful. Just then, Nagato's voice came from beside Konan. The bridge to peace should be him and his will. Konan turned around and saw not only Nagato with a bandage on his face, but also a group of injured Akatsuki members. The Akatsuki member next to Nagato said, "We believe in Yohiko." Nagato said solemnly, "Let's go." Everyone, yes, Ninja World, are you going on another mission to help others? These are hard-working little bees. Except for Zianan, all of them are injured, but they still insist on helping others. How should I put it? What exactly is Yohiko's philosophy? I always feel that what the masked man said, that his philosophy is revenge, is correct. Why do I see that old guy Danzo again, even though it's for Konoha? Does that mean you don't care about the lives of the civilians and other ninja villages? What a bastard. I think Danzo is doing this for himself. On screen, Rain Country. Hanzo looked at the bodies of his people. How so? Danzo below explained, when we found them, they weren't already beyond saving. Although we have not yet reached a peace agreement with the Land of Earth, we saw that they were members of Hanzo's clan, so we sent them back here. Hanzo asked, Danzo, have you seen the murderer? I'm afraid it's Akatsuki. Zio. Hanzo was a little unconvinced, but Zio is, Danzo continued, an organization that promotes peace and has recently expanded its influence in Uian. Hanzo said, yes, I heard that it is an organization with the same aspirations as me. But why? In the divine space, the corner of Obito's mouth curled up in a mocking arc in his eyes. This Hanzo is already old. First, they took the initiative to provoke a war, but powerful opponents from big countries kept emerging one after another. For example, Chiyo, the three ninjas of Konoha, etc. After the fight, he, who used to rely on poison gas to clear out the small fish very smoothly, retreated after encountering these obstacles and suddenly wanted peace. Hanzo's ambition is not as pure as those simple guys in Akatsuki Ninja World. It turns out that it took more than one sentence for Hanzo to believe it, and there's also this reason. Zio wouldn't kill people for no reason, would he? This is obviously a false accusation by Danzo. How shameless. On screen, Danzo said, Hanzo-sama, you have been too lax with him. It is understandable that you pursue your ideals, but this is also your weakness. My weakness? Danzo looked at him and said, it is precisely because you have lofty ambitions that you are too indulgent towards people with ambitions. However, such indulgence eventually became a hidden danger, causing harm to innocent people, which led to this tragedy. No matter how high your ambitions are, the same approach does not apply to everyone. Even if they initially appear to be pursuing the same ideals as you, they are still a mob in the end. In the end, they will be dominated by desire and power and become evil spirits. Strip off the Akatsuki's high-sounding outer layer, and you will find that they are just a group of rats who intend to subvert the village. Mr. Hanzo, if this continues, this village will be taken away by them. Screen turn. Nagato walked up to Yohiko and said, everyone is getting tired of fighting. Yes. Even if we win the battle, Zio will not get any reward. All we have is our ideals. Sooner or later, the fatigue accumulated over the years will wear away our ideals. Nagato looked at him and asked, are you saying that everyone will forget why they are fighting? Yohiko lowered his head. Nagato, would you please be the leader of Akatsuki? I am not cut out to be a leader, Yohiko said, looking at his own hand. That was the first time I stabbed someone. Sweat dripped down Yohiko's face, and he said in pain, that feeling is still in my hand, and it makes me tremble just by doing this. Yohiko looked at Nagato, but you are different. You have the mark of a hero. That is the special mark of the Rinnegan. He will become people's ideal. Yohiko, do you want to use my Rinnegan? I am afraid of myself and have been suffering because of having such eyes, but there is someone beside you who can control its power for you. At this point, Yohiko smiled and said, Konan will always be by your side. Ninja World. I thought he suddenly backed off, but it turns out that he still feels guilty about that incident. I guess that's why he said that to Konan before. Isn't Yohiko too kind? Iwagakure wanted to kill him, but he accidentally got stabbed by the Iwagakure, and he's still in pain. Now I believe that Yohiko's philosophy is not revenge, but true mutual understanding. Chapter 247. Zianan was arrested. I roughly understand the meaning of Yohiko's philosophy. He wants to make people understand the pain of others through communication and achieve mutual understanding, rather than using violent revenge and other means. It is also possible that Yohiko realized the insufficiency of his own strength through the casualties suffered by the Akatsuki organization over the years, so he wanted to give the position of leader to Nagato, who possesses the Rinnegan. Yohiko is the most suitable person to be the leader of Akatsuki. He has always been righteous. Without him, Nagato's path would definitely go astray. Did Yohiko say this to Nagato because he had a premonition of something? It feels like he's giving Nagato instructions for his final resting place. On screen at this time, Jisuke ran over with an anxious look on his face. Brother, this is bad, Yohiko asked. What's wrong? Hanzo's messenger has arrived. Nagato and Yohiko looked at each other. Screen turned. Hanzo looked at Yohiko, who was standing in the front, and asked, Are you the leader of Akatsuki? Lord Yohiko, yes, that's right. I am the deputy of Hanzo of the Salamander. My name is Kanzo. I have heard about your deeds, and I heard that you do not advocate the use of force, but insist on solving problems peacefully, Yohiko said. This is our philosophy. Kanzo took out a scroll from his bosom and handed it forward. Hanzo sent me to deliver a handwritten letter. Please take a look. Hatasuke walked forward, took the scroll and handed it to Yohiko. Yohiko took it and opened it. After a moment, he looked up and asked, Is this true? Kanzo said, He wants to meet you in person. Hanzo has already acknowledged Akatsuki. Hanzo hopes that one day, he can entrust you with the task of negotiating peace with the 3 countries surrounding Yugakure, negotiation mission of the 3 kingdoms. Great, brother, Yohiko said to Kanzo. Please tell Hanzo-sama that we understand. Everyone in the Akatsuki organization shouted in surprise. Now we can help others with dignity. Yohiko smiled and said, Many people sacrificed their lives for this moment, and I finally did not let them down. Nagato put his hand on Yohiko's shoulder. Yohiko, it was your determination to understand the pain of others that moved Hanzo. You see, Yohiko turned around and looked at the members of Akatsuki, who were both crying and laughing. Akatsuki has found his ideal, and doesn't need any signs at all. Nagato looked at Yohiko and stretched out his hand. Everyone is willing to follow you until death, Nagato. Yohiko stretched out his hand and held Nagato's hand. We did nothing wrong. Then, Yohiko said to everyone in Akatsuki, Tomorrow we will meet with Hanzo-sama, and Nagato and I will go. Kanzo said worriedly, Is everything okay? Big brother. How about we come together too? Yohiko smiled and comforted him. It's okay. If so many of us go over there, I'm afraid it will scare Hanzo-sama. Kanzo scratched his head. That's true. By the way, where's Ayanin? I'm off to inspect the 7th area. I won't be back until tomorrow morning. Is that so? It's a rare good thing today. Anyway, Akatsuki has taken an important step today. Everyone, forget about the mission today and relax. Oh, the Akatsuki crowd cheered. Ninja World, I really want to go back to that time and tell them that this was Hanzo and Danzo's conspiracy. Isn't it at this time that Konan was captured by Hanzo's men? How despicable. A dignified demigod like Hanzo actually used such a despicable method to deal with Akatsuki. Looking at how happy they are at this moment, I feel inexplicably sad. These Akatsuki members who often help others don't know that they will soon lose their leader. I don't know how sad they will be after Yohiko's death. After Akatsuki loses Yohiko, will those members leave or will they seek revenge for Yohiko? Rain Country's Ayanin clenched his fists so tightly that his knuckles turned white. Pain sighed at her appearance. Naruto, watch carefully and understand our pain in advance. I hope that after you see it, you can understand our peace concept and bring lasting peace to this ninja world. Although Naruto was young, when he saw the looks on Konan and Nagato's faces, he realized that something bad was about to happen on screen. Ayanin looked at the 3 bodies of villagers lying in front of him and hurried over. She came to the body, held the man's wrist, and found that he had no pulse. Who did this? At this moment, the 3 corpses swelled up quickly and exploded, and poisonous gas spread in an instant. Ayanin quickly covered her nose and flew backwards, but the poison had already entered her body and she fainted the moment she landed. Screen turn. Nagato and Yohiko had just set out to meet Hanzo. A ninja mouse came over and nudged Jisuke. Seeing that Jisuke didn't react, it bit Jisuke's hand. Jisuke was awakened by the pain. What are you doing? I was sleeping so well. Come on. Grumbling, he took the information scroll off the ninja mouse's back and opened it. Let me see. After a moment, he stood up in shock, looked at the people sleeping around him and asked, Hey, where are Yohiko and Nagato? The Buddha was awakened, sat up and said, Have you set off yet? I am going to meet Hanzo today, Jisuke said anxiously. Wake up everyone. Go after Brother Yahiko and the others. What's wrong? I'll explain it later. With that, Jinchusuke ran out. Screen turned. The members of Akatsuki are on their way. Quickly the Buddha asked, "Hey, what happened?" Jinchusuke explained, "Members near the Konoha border sent a message that Konoha's Anbu troops are gathering towards Hanzo." Eh? Konoha's Anbu? Why did those people go to Hanzo? The details are unknown. But don't you think this is too coincidental? And, if you think about it carefully, what Hanzo said is too good to be true. So, today's meeting with Hanzo, anyway. We have to tell this news to Big Brother and the others. At this time a space vortex appeared in front of the few people. The masked man and the pitcher plant appeared in front of them. "It's a pity that I can't let you pass through here." Screen turned. The masked man and Nepenthe Zetsu came to the top of a cliff and looked at the scene below where Konoha Anbu and a Megacure ninja surrounded Yahiko Nagato. Hanzo took out a kunai, looked down at Yahiko and said, "Your organization is too much of a hindrance to me. Yahiko, as the leader, you will die here. If you resist, this woman will die." As he said this, he put the kunai close to Konan's neck and gestured, then threw the kunai between the two of them. "The red-haired one, use that kunai to kill Yahiko. If you do it, I will let you and this woman go." Ninja World. Are all the members of Akatsuki dead? Although Yahiko will die, I feel that Nagato is the one who is more pitiful. After losing his parents, he was helpless and met the two most important people in his life. But, Alice, this was a devastating blow to Nagato. As a result, even his fellow members of the Akatsuki organization, who had fought together for several years, died at the hands of the masked man. Chapter 248. The Second Pain. I think Yahiko is more pitiful. He was the strongest when he was young, because the pain he experienced made him shed all his tears of pain long ago. As a result, the hope that Akatsuki just had turned out to be a scam. He's not even together with Konan yet. As long as no one is with Zianan, I still have hope. The masked man also played a big role in making use of Nagato's Rinnegan. Right, Rain Country's Zianan's face turned pale and his eyes became moist. If she hadn't been captured, there was a raging rage in Pain's eyes. It turns out that Jinchusuke and Daibatsu died at the hands of the masked man, or he died on the way to save them. On screen, you red-haired guy over there, use this to kill Yahiko. Then I can let you and the woman live. Zianan shouted excitedly. Stop. Nagato, leave me alone. The two of you run away. Nagato looked at Konan, who was controlled by Hanzo. His mind went blank and he didn't know what to do next. Nagato, hearing Yahiko's voice, Nagato looked at him. Kill me. Nagato's pupils shrank, but his body did not move. Yahiko shouted, Nagato. Zianan collapsed and yelled, stop. Hanzo looked down at the two of them. Come on, it doesn't matter if this woman dies. Nagato walked towards the kunai, and each step was extremely difficult. Finally, he pulled the kunai out of the ground. Nagato looked bewildered. Konan? Yeah. Hey. Nagato's eyes suddenly widened. Blood flowed from the corner of Yahiko's mouth, and he said weakly, together with Konan, we must survive no matter what. You are the savior of this world, it is you. Actually, before he could finish his words, Yahiko fell down. Yahiko. Nagato stared blankly at the sky. I recalled what Yahiko had said, if this world continues to be in chaos, I will become the god of this world. The next moment, Nagato raised his palm and deflected the densely packed kunai. Nagato leaped up and came in front of Konan. Seeing this, Hanzo stepped back. Suddenly as he stepped back, he slapped the ground with his palm. Countless detonating tags appeared under the feet of the two men. Nagato's legs were instantly entangled by several explosive tags. Boom! Did you make it? When the smoke cleared, Hanzo walked over to see that Nagato was only injured in the leg. You are quite capable, kid. You were hit by my fire escape technique and yet you managed to escape. At this point, he saw the Rinnegan in Nagato's eyes. You are not an ordinary kid. Those eyes. The root ninja waved his hand. Get started. Upon hearing the order, several root ninjas rushed towards Nagato. Nagato slapped his palm on the ground. Spiritual communication. The demon statue. A hand emerged from the ground and slapped the root ninjas away. Then, the ground shattered, and a gigantic demon statue emerged from the ground, roaring at everyone's eye and said anxiously, Nagato. You can't use that. Nagato roared, and sharp iron rods stretched out from the outer path demon statue and pierced Nagato's back. Then, the iron rod began to absorb the chakra in Nagato's body. Nagato's face became visibly thinner. The outer path demon statue opened its mouth, and a purple chakra dragon formed and rushed out of its mouth. As long as the rain ninja is touched by this chakra dragon, their soul will be taken out in a short while. Hanzo was the only one left in the field. The purple chakra dragon's eyes stared at Hanzo, giving off a full sense of oppression. It seems that you are the leader behind this. It is surprising that you have the Samsara Eye, Nagato roared, and a purple chakra dragon attacked Hanzo. Hanzo held up two fingers, the art of instant body movement. Boom. Ninja world, is this the Rinnegan? And this chakra dragon is so scary. If it is touched, the soul will be brought out. Fate is so unfair to this young man who wants to bring peace to the ninja world. Nagato's subsequent behavior perfectly illustrates what it means that it's not me who's wrong, but this world. I can see that the masked man can't use Nagato when Yohiko is around, so he wants Yohiko dead. Anyone who wants Yohiko to die is very powerful. Nagato Gaiden's black stick stabbed him so many times but he didn't die, but Yohiko died just by being stabbed by a kunai. Should we say he is worthy of being a person with a Rinnegan? On-screen memories stop here, Nagato said to Naruto. Afterwards, I replaced Yohiko as the leader of the organization. I should have grown up, but nothing has changed, just like when my parents died. I was wrong, and I realized how worthless the answers I gave were. He was my savior, my dream, and an irreplaceable friend who I would risk my life to protect. Yohiko's death, that is my second pain. Afterwards, countless companions died in the war. Many people kept dying. The people of the Land of Fire, who were addicted to the illusion of peace, relied on the meager commission from Konoha to become the funds for the war. Many people of the Land of Fire knew that they were contributing to the war, but they kept talking about hypocritical peace. The peace of your great country is only built on the sacrifice of small countries. Your peace is violence against us. As long as people are alive, they will hurt others unconsciously. As long as people exist, hatred will always exist. In this cursed world, there is no real peace. Nagato's words left many people silent, especially some people from the 5 major countries. Those who still had a conscience lowered their heads in guilt, but they didn't have time to feel guilty for long. The next related video starts playing. It's still about Zio. On screen title, Akatsuki recruitment members. The masked man opened a 3 Magatama Sharingan. Then, the next step is to fulfill my long-cherished wish. You will assist me. Is that the agreement? Among the 6 paths of pain, Tiandeo asked calmly. I understand. What should I do specifically? The masked man said. Zio already has you and Zianen, and then add you as the 3rd person. The 3 of them will gather the remaining 7 members together. As he spoke, the masked man raised 3 fingers. There are 3 targets now. Kakuzu, who secretly learned forbidden techniques from Takigakure village and possessed an immortal body. The puppet genius Scorpion, who defected from Sand village. The last one is someone who is very close to me, so I will bring him here. Then, let's take action and realize our ultimate ideal. Ninja world. The once cheerful and lively orange-haired boy will never smile again. Jiraiya covered his chest, feeling stuffy there. His disciple died in the scheme of Danzo and Hanzo. Fire Nation Muai village. Shikaku said with regret. Master Jiraiya's disciple was a very good young man. What a pity. Sarutobi Hirozen opened his mouth, wanting to say something for his old friend, but the words wouldn't come out. Is Danzo doing this for Konoha? If so, it proves that Konoha and Iwagakure's decision to negotiate peace was wrong. He also advocated peace talks at the time, but Danzo suggested taking this opportunity to destroy Iwagakure. Needless to say, the final result is the Hokage. Chapter 249, Recruiting Akatsuki Members. Rain Country Zio Organization. Looking at the pictures on the screen, Kakuzu recalled how embarrassed he was at that time. I'm the first one, right? But what does this storm mean? No matter what, he is considered the living elder of Akatsuki. On screen, Kakuzu looked at Pain across from him and asked, Who are you? Tendo Pain said calmly, Immortal Ninja Kakuzu, I invite you to join Akatsuki. Akatsuki. Kakuzu was angered by his tone. It may not look worth much, but you slightly irritated me. Want to fight me? Come on. If I win, I will take you into Akatsuki. Kakuzu narrowed his eyes. This guy. Screen turn. Kakuzu half knelt on the ground. Pain said to him, You lose. I will correct the world. Come. We can give you a salary and a place. Kakuzu stood up. Zio. Looks like I'll be able to make some money unexpectedly if I go. Pain. Ninja world, aren't you just being stubborn? Haha, I joined Akatsuki not because I was defeated by you, nor because I was afraid that you would kill me if I didn't join. I just joined because you paid me. Right, no battle scenes, although I don't understand the lyrics of this background music. I think it sounds good. I feel like these eyes are a perfect match for Yohiko, but unfortunately the expression is too cold and doesn't match Yohiko himself. Why wasn't it Yohiko who awakened these eyes? If it was him, Zio Organization. Looking at the scene on the screen, Scorpion made a tisk sound. Kingdom of Winsand Hidden Village. Chiyo's delicate body trembled. The fourth Kazakage spoke in a complicated tone. It's your grandson, Scorpion of the Red Sand? On screen Scorpion looked at Xiaonan, who was in midair, and asked, "Who are you?" "I am here to invite you to join Akatsuki," Scorpion said calmly. "Zio? Never heard of it. Then I will take you away with my strength." Screen turn. The third generation Kazakage puppet fell to the ground with a plop. Scorpion said to Xiaonan, "As a loser, I have no choice. You can take me wherever you want." Xiaonan looked at him and said, "Surprisingly, you are a reasonable person. I just want to meet the other members of Akatsuki." As he said this, he looked up and looked at the flying pieces of paper. "Maybe it can be like your technique, which can give me artistic inspiration that I have never felt before. Ninja World, this kid's appearance already threatens me." Little South America flipped over. Not only is she very powerful, she's also very beautiful, and she was very kind when she was a child. Most importantly, she's super rich. Xiaonan is simply the perfect goddess in my mind. On screen the masked man said, "The next target is Kisame Hoshigaki of Kirigakure." Screen turn. Kisame looked at his own hands. "The only thing I can personally experience is my own falsehood." At this moment, a long-haired figure appeared behind Kuruju Yagura. The figure in the dark couldn't see his appearance clearly, but the iconic hedgehog head was very familiar to everyone in the ninja world. "And I will free you from the false pain and build a place for you to stay." Kisame held the weapon behind his back tightly and asked, "Who are you?" But then Kisame saw a Sharingan. He was startled, and murmured, "Eyes that shine in the darkness." Rain Country pain narrowed his eyes. "That masked guy, I can't tell the real thing from his hairstyle and voice. Could it be that he is really Madara?" Xiaonan looked serious. "If it's true, it will be tricky." On screen Orochimaru laughed hoarsely. "Right now, I am most interested in Akatsuki." At this point, Orochimaru burst out with a powerful aura. "I want to investigate more deeply." Then he looked at Scorpion and said, "You are so happy. Do you want to fight me like that?" Scorpion took out the scroll of the third Kazakage puppet. "Originally, I could have used the Scarlet Ember, but I just wanted to tell you what a complete failure is." Orochimaru takes a fighting stance. "Complete failure? What does that feel like?" "You will know it soon, so experience it well." Screen turn. This ending almost made everyone in the ninja world drop their jaws. Orochimaru is lying down. Is this really Orochimaru, one of the three ninjas? How come he can't even beat a teenager? Scorpion of the Red Sand. Looks like another very powerful ninja. On screen Orochimaru, who was lying on the ground, suddenly extended his upper body and rushed towards Pine. Orochimaru looked greedily at the Rinnegan in Pine's eyes. "I'll take your Rinnegan first." Next moment a surge of repulsive force erupted. Tendo Pain stretched out his hand. Shinra Tensei. Boom. Rain Country. Naruto looked at Tendo Pain with little stars in his eyes. Nagato really enjoyed Naruto's little look. Pain said, "Don't look at me like that. Your future strength will be many times stronger than mine." Naruto still thought it was cool to casually stretch out his hand and send the enemy flying backwards. "That's a matter for the future. I'm not sure if I can be that strong in the future, but that move of yours was really cool." The corners of Pain's mouth curved up. "Become my disciple and I will teach you in the future." Hearing this, Naruto hesitated. That would be a loss of status. Originally he was a junior fellow apprentice, but if he became a disciple, he would become an apprentice sealed space Kyuubi. "Little devil, don't hesitate, just agree to him." On screen Tendo Pain said calmly, "Orochimaru, we've had enough fun. It's almost time for us to get down to business." Orochimaru said, "Then let's get down to business. How about trying to pull me closer to Akari?" Tendo Pain opened his eyes. "Okay, I'll pull you in." Scorpion asked, "Do you really want to do this? Rather than letting this kind of person roam around, it would be more beneficial for us to keep him by our side." Ninja World. Scorpion's face is so beautiful. Standing next to Yahiko, Scorpion is like his younger brother. Orochimaru is the first one to take the initiative to join Akatsuki, right? It's obvious that he covets the Rinnegan. By the way, did Orochimaru recognize that this was Yahiko? On screen turn. The masked man ordered, "Absolutely. Let Scorpion, Itachi, and Kisame go greet Deidara." Learn screen turn. Art is explosion. You mean to deal with me?" Itachi said. "If I win, I will bring you back to Akatsuki." Deidara stood up and said, "Don't look down on me and my art." As he said this, he threw the clay spider in his hand towards Itachi. Itachi flew backwards. Drink. Screen turn. Deidara looked at Itachi bathed in the golden sunlight, a little dazed. "This is art." Next moment Deidara's illusion was lifted, and he looked at the clay centipede wrapped around him and made a tisk sound. Itachi said calmly, "You lost?" Deidara yelled unwillingly. Damn it, Ninja World, the guy who defeated Gaara was defeated so easily. The illusion of the kaleidoscope is too terrifying. An ordinary person would probably be killed instantly after a single encounter. Chapter 250. The second live broadcast ends. On screen, Tendo Pain said, "We need to bring this hidden into the organization. Orochimaru, Kakuzu, and Zetsu, go and invite him." Understood. Screen turn. Hidden swung the march scythe in his hand and slashed at Kakuzu. Kakuzu jumped away to avoid the attack while forming seals with his hands. Fire escape. Work hard. Orochimaru held up two fingers wide style. Big breakthrough. The wind fanned the flames, and a tornado of fire swept towards Hidden. Fito stared blankly at the spectacular scene before him, his figure being engulfed by the fire tornado. Just as the smoke was about to dissipate, Hidden jumped out of the smoke and slashed at Kakuzu with a sickle in his hand. Ninja World, he wasn't hurt by such an attack? Is he immortal? This is too outrageous. As expected, anyone who is favored by Nagato is not too ordinary. Hidden? This figure makes me want to lick the screen. On screen, Kakuzu grabbed Hidden's feet and threw him away. Hidden's figure landed steadily on the tree. Master Evil God, just look at me. I will kill that stupid guy right away. Orochimaru praised. The murderous aura is not bad. Kakuzu also said, interesting. Hidden rushed towards the two men. Kill you, the atheist, right now. He raised the march sickle in his hand. Screen turn. Hidden sat on the ground. Orochimaru asked, so, can I get your answer now? What are you going to do in the future? Hidden crossed his arms, thought for a while, and sighed. Got it. I'll join the head office, Orochimaru said in a hoarse voice, then our negotiation is concluded. Welcome to join us, Hidden. Screen turn. Zio Organization. Pine said, Konan, Itachi, Kisame, Sasori, Deidara, Kakuzu, Hidden, Orochimaru, and Zetsu. Each family has its own situation and ambitions, so we are gathered together now. From now on, we will officially begin the action. The target is the nine-tailed beasts from the one tail to the nine tails. Although we will face powerful opponents, we must gather all the tailed beasts and realize our ultimate ideal of Akatsuki. The 10 of us have gathered for this purpose. The scene shows the faces of all the members of Akatsuki, and finally Tendo Pain. Failure is not allowed. Everyone remember the say it. Tendo Pain turned and left. Lower right corner of the screen. Dalang dalang dalang. I'm so reluctant to let go. The cell phone rang and Qiu Li picked up the call. The moment the call was connected, two words came from the other end, online. At this point, the second live broadcast ended. With the end of the live broadcast, everyone in the ninja world returned to reality. In this cruel reality, they could not empathize with Naruto and Sasuke. And the warm feeling in their hearts from watching the plot of Naruto disappeared in an instant. They turned back into ordinary people who were powerless. Whether it's Naruto, Sasuke, Nagato, Konan, or the masked man, they are all people they need to look up to. Divine space. Hearing the prompt, Obito breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that live broadcasting is quite friendly to me. It has not exposed me for such a long time. In this regard, he had actually already prepared himself for being exposed by the live broadcast. What about after being exposed? Trash, whatever happens. But now, it looks like he still has time to do something. Pure Land. Madara nodded in satisfaction before falling into deep sleep. Seeing that the tools still had some strength, he felt relieved. As for whether he can be resurrected, in this regard, he could only say silently in his heart, my wife Heyo Obito, damn daddy. Without Obito, he really didn't know how he would be resurrected. I just hope Obito can take action as soon as possible. The live broadcast won't give them much time. Minato and Kushina both felt a little regretful. It's a shame that I didn't get to take another look at Naruto when the live stream ended. Izuna wondered what kind of illusion his elder brother was planning. Hashirama was still mourning the death of Yahiko. Tobirama thought of Danzo. Moon, what an interesting story. But even so, I will take back my chakra. As soon as the words fell, Kaguya was sealed again. Kingdom of Winds and Hidden Village. Gaara took a look at the beautiful night view and let out more breath after this live broadcast. Will anyone in the village still be afraid of him? Gaara, feeling nervous, used the technique of instant body movement to come to the street. The moment he appeared, the villagers who had not yet returned home stopped and continued to discuss the live broadcast content with the people around them. The atmosphere was quiet for a moment. Gaara swallowed nervously. Will they flee in fear like they did before? Just then, a little girl ran up to Gaara. Gaara subconsciously took a step back. The little girl handed a bouquet of flowers to Gaara. Gaara-sama. Mother said that she hopes these flowers can be medicine to heal your heart. Gaara thought he had heard it wrongly. He stared blankly at the little girl in front of him, and his nose couldn't help but feel sore. Someone in the crowd shouted, Lord Gaara, you will always be the 5th generation of the village. You will always be irreplaceable in my heart. Gaara's petite body trembled far away, listening to the villagers' voices of agreement and watching Gaara wiping his tears with his sleeves. Temari and Kankuro, who came out to look for Gaara, looked at each other. I thought it would take some time for the villagers to adapt. It's like a dream. This is what Gaara desires most, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have appeared here immediately after the live broadcast ended. Kankuro had a huge grin on his face. I hope this dream is true. Temari slapped Kankuro hard on the shoulder. Hiss, ouch. Sister, what are you doing? Look. This is not a dream, it is real. Country of Earth. Iwagakure stared at Deidara with a stern face. I don't know how long it took. Deidara has been behind Inoki. Look, old man. It's Mada. Inoki's face darkened, and dust escape appeared in his hand. You little brat, dare you try to run? Do you believe that I will kill you on the spot? After Deidara's eyelids twitched wildly, he felt a little discouraged and sat down on the ground. Inoki watched the traitor close his eyes, turned his face away, and gave a look of "You beast, come on," and the dust release in his hand dissipated. From now on, you must stay in the village and not go anywhere. Deidara glanced unwillingly in the direction of the land of fire. In his eyes, there is nothing more artistic than the battle between Naruto and Sasuke in the future. Damn it. I want to go see Naruto and Sasuke. Fire Nation. Itachi looked up at the sky. He might never be able to return to Konoha. He did something like that, and those clan members who saw him everywhere could not tolerate him. Even for the sake of Konoha's stability, he could not go back. So next Itachi looked in the direction of the land of grass. Kill Danzo first, then go find Naruto. Not far from him a black hole suddenly appeared there. A blonde boy jumped out of the black hole. He looked around and felt a little discouraged. A voice came from the black hole. Isn't this our time and space again? Boruto, that's not it either, master. Then let's continue. Oops. I'm out of chakra. Looks like we can only rest here for a night and continue our journey tomorrow. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.